All right, everybody, welcome to the Elephant Challenge. We are going to start the Elephant Challenge in a very, very cool way. If you guys remember last year, in summer of last year, we broke a world record for doing the most offers in one day. It was a world record. We had something around 3,000 people in that challenge all simultaneously, and that was so cool. I actually met a few people yesterday in Minneapolis. They said, Pace, I was in your first Elephant Challenge ever, and it changed my life. Thank you so much. I met so many amazing people. I ended up doing a bunch of deals, and that was our first Elephant Challenge ever. I had somebody a couple of days ago say they have now done 115 deals, all because of the Elephant Challenge over the last 12 months. So there are people that are doing 10 deals a month because of this challenge. Why do I do this? I want you to write this down because there's people that on day 3 of the challenge, what they will do is they'll come in and go, man, aren't you selling anything? Aren't you doing something? This is crazy. If you guys remember the first Elephant Challenge we ever did a year ago, on day number 3, there was a lady that raised her hand. She came in and she says, when are you going to pitch us something? And I go, what do you mean? And she says, aren't you going to sell something else? I go, no, this is not why we're doing the challenge. We're here to help people and change people's lives. And so she was blown away by that. We continued to do that for an entire year. We changed the topic a couple of times. We did multifamily. We did a bunch of different topics. And what I want to do this year, because of how much we've changed and affected so many people's lives in a positive way over the last 12 months, I want to actually start the Elephant Challenge all over. I want to start from the basics. I want to start from essentially with one goal in mind. The goal in mind would be, how do I teach people in our free Facebook group, because this is for the free Facebook group, Creative Finance with Pace Morby, that Facebook group, how can I teach you guys and give you an education over the course of a year, okay, over the course of a year, how to wholesale and find deals and comp properties and work with each other? What if that was the only goal? The only goal was to teach you those things. And as you run into those leads, as you run into those opportunities, the people from my communities like Subto and Gator and Top Tier TC can come in and help you guys out with the creative finance deals. They can help you out with the paperwork that you don't have. The Gators can come in and fund your transactions. The transaction coordinators can run your transactions. What if we created that? Now, I've paid for wholesale education. Has anybody in here ever paid for wholesale education? If you have, type in the side chat how much you paid for it. Okay. A lot of yeses, tons of yeses. 7,500, 10,000, a lot. Somebody said 60,000, 6,500, 10,000, 7K, 12K. All right. I get the comment all the time. Somebody said they paid $29,000, $20,000, $25,000. Okay. I get this comment all the time, that my free education is by far better than anybody else's paid education. And so that is what we're going to do in this Elephant Challenge over the next 12 months. I am going to give you what I believe is going to be a $50,000 education for free. I'm going to teach you guys how to comp. I'm going to teach you guys how to underwrite and look at opportunities. I'm going to teach you guys about cash transactions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure you have access to my trained communities on creative finance and funding deals, Gator and Subto. I'm going to make sure you have access to real estate agents who understand these topics so that you guys can have friends and people to hold on to. I'm going to make sure that the people that know how to do the paperwork are accessible to you as well. And what we're going to do is, this is going to be a long road. I'm going to teach you what wholesale is. So some of you guys that are in here are already doing a lot of deals. In the side chat, do me a favor. How many people in here are in my leadership? How many people have been in one of my communities or collective community for over 6 months and have helped other people do deals? There's Angie Milanazzo, one of the leaders. She's unbelievable. So you guys see 100 people in the side chat saying, I'm one of the leaders. Okay. Caroline says, I'm TC. Gator. Okay. Astro leader. Sarah Millis says she's an Astro leader. Well, we are going to teach all of you guys in the free Facebook group, Creative Finance with Pace Morby. We are going to teach you guys how to find opportunities, generate opportunities, and then plug into and work with people who are trained in 5 steps, 10 steps, 20 steps ahead of you. We're going to teach you that. And we're going to give you guys individual merit badges. Okay. Individual merit badges. What is a merit badge? A merit badge is a micro skill that you need to acquire in order to be successful at something, right? A micro skill would be, how do I pick a zip code? How do I pick a market? How do I choose what to look at? How do I go through those things? And we're going to start very basic. Today, we're even going to talk about what is wholesale. We're going to talk about why cash over creative. We're going to talk about some very basic stuff. And the point and the goal here today is to just give you guys a foundational level of understanding. How many people appreciate that we're going to start from the very, very ground floor? Give me a yes or a thank you or something in the side chat. I just want to make sure people understand this. Now, am I here to teach you guys creative finance in the Elephant Challenge? The answer is no, I'm not. I teach creative finance to my Subto community. I teach raising capital and corporate structure and all sorts of amazing things to my communities. But today and during the Elephant Challenge, it's all about just getting your feet wet. It's getting you on the same path as the other elephants. And you guys have probably seen this, right? You've seen elephants walking in line, mama elephants in the front, all the way down to the baby elephant that's in the back, holding on to the tail of the elephant in front of them. In my mind, that is the Elephant Challenge. It's the people like myself and my community, Subto, Gator, Top Tier TC, that are leading the industry. They are. We're leading the industry. I get this frequently. Title companies, escrow officers, all sorts of people call me and say, it's amazing how many deals your community is doing. I'm astonished. I'd love to get you on a podcast, or you tell me how you guys are doing this. And they basically are the leaders of the elephant pack, right? They're out there leading the path because somebody helped lead them at one point, whether it was me or somebody else in our community helped them get a deal. And my leaders from Subto, my leaders from Gator, my leaders from Top Tier TC are here to help you guys. They're here to help you plug in and make sure that when we do start submitting offers and we do start understanding how to look up properties, that you guys have somebody to plug into. The most important thing you'll ever have is a group of people that you can rely on. Okay. So everybody in here, do me a favor. Just one time, we've got 1,000 people in the Zoom, YouTube. I don't know how many people we have on YouTube, but before I get started, take a minute and just put your name in the side chat one time. Okay. Put your Instagram name, put your city you're from, put what you do, all of those things, put it in the side chat. Let's just get rid of that today. Let's just get rid of it, right? You've got people come in here, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that. Here's the link to my thing. Guys, we want to make sure we purge and get rid of that all as fast as possible. Now the chat is going very fast. Thousands of people are commenting. I get that. How do I save that? Well, you can save that by going to the 3 little dots over there in the side chat, and you can save the side chat so you can have everybody's information once the Elephant Challenge is over. Pretty cool. We will also, if you guys just put your name in there, put your name, where you're from, where you're stuck, give me a little story about you. Purge it, get rid of it all right now, as fast as you possibly can. Because I want to get to training. I want to get to work. I don't want to have the side chat blowing up with who you are and where you're from and what your favorite color is the whole entire time I'm on here today for 3 hours. Do we all agree that that is the #1 rule of the Elephant Challenge? Let's not spam the side chat. Okay. So let's spam the side chat right now. Let's purge. Let's get rid of it. Everything I want somebody to know about me, my favorite color, what do I like? Ham and pineapple on my pizza. Am I one of those weird people? Just so you know, I am. What kind of car you drive? How many siblings you have? I don't care what you put in the side chat, but let's just get rid of it right now. Now, do I have to remind people my name every 5 minutes in the Elephant Challenge, or can I just save the side chat at any point and they can save the side chat and go through and actually connect with me? We already know the answer. I don't need to put my name in there more than one time because the side chat will help you make sure that everybody knows who you are. Can I get a yes for this? Can I get it? I agree, a yes, thank you, whatever it is you want to say in the side chat. Because what will happen is at some point, I have Caroline and I have Carly behind the scene right now. At some point in the Elephant Challenge, we have 1,100 people in here right now. You guys will come in and you'll start peppering your information in the side chat. And I want to let you know right now that we will not be okay with that in a couple of minutes. So if you got it in you and you want to get it out, now's the time. Now's the time to let everybody know who you are, okay? So that we can get rid of that and we can get right to the training and helping people out, okay? Actually, I'm gonna take 2 minutes. I'm gonna let you guys just do it. Type it. Favorite color, what shoes you're wearing, you're not wearing shoes. Tell everybody everything about you that you need them to know. There's always one guy that's in here is like wants to give his whole story and he just fills up the whole chat. Hey guy, now's the time for you to do that. Now's the time for you to do that. I'm giving you permission. Do it. Let everybody know you're a sub-2 student. Let everybody know you're a Gator. Let everybody know you're a top tier TC. Let everybody know that you're an Astro glider. Let everybody know. Let everybody know what shirt you're wearing. Let them all know. Okay. All right. So the point of the Elephant Challenge is for the leaders in my collective community to help the people that are in my free groups. I have a free Facebook group. The Facebook group is called Creative Finance with Pace Morby. Now, why do I call it Creative Finance with Pace Morby, not Creative Real Estate with Pace Morby? It's Creative Finance with Pace Morby because we are teaching our sub-2 community how to not only buy properties, dirt, multifamily, RV parks, land developments, all of those things with creative finance, no money down strategies, etc. We're also teaching them how to do that with cars, vehicles, RVs, airplanes, trailers, all sorts of things, turn that into a money-making endeavor. We are also teaching them how to acquire businesses with creative finance. And that is something that we just unveiled and rolled out to the sub-2 community about a couple of weeks ago. What's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of my sub-2 community wanting to buy deals from you. And so the purpose of the free Facebook group, okay, the purpose of the free Facebook group is to make sure that the people in the free Facebook group at least know how to find an opportunity, at least know how to evaluate whether it is an opportunity. They might not know the paperwork. They might not know what to do with it. They might not know everything about the deal, but they know it's a good deal. The Elephant Challenge and the free Facebook group is to teach you guys those things so that you can go forward and do deals with my community. Okay. Now, we've been doing the Elephant Challenge for over a year. Xavier Burrow says the same thing that a lot of people are going to say. He says, I don't know how to save the chat. Guys, we will save the chat for you today, and we will make sure that Carly will give it to you in the Circle app or in the free Facebook group. Are we all in agreement that that's where we can get that today? Can we all just give me a yes? Give me 1,100 yeses. If you're grateful that we've done this and we're putting this together, give me 1,100 yeses. We all know we don't need to know everything today because usually Carly or somebody on my team, right? There's payroll being spent on you guys right now to give you guys this free value. They're going to help you out with the side chat. They're going to help you out with those things, okay? So for those of you guys that you've given your name, you've told people your favorite color, what shoes you're wearing, what car you drove today, what was your big frustration today, whatever it was, have we all gotten it out of our system today that we can move forward and actually just start learning today? Can we do that today? Okay, cool. Now, again, what is the goal of the Elephant Challenge? The Elephant Challenge helps people in the free group find opportunities to work with the leaders in my community. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say what the Elephant Challenge is again, just so you guys understand, okay? The Elephant Challenge is meant to help the people in the free Facebook group find opportunities and work those opportunities with people in my trained community. Do we all understand what the purpose of the Elephant Challenge is? Give me a yes. Okay. So today will be part 1 of 12 parts. Okay. There will be 12 more Elephant Challenges over the next 12 months. I'm going to give you a cash and wholesale education all around doing real estate deals that I would say I would pay $50,000 for. It's going to be completely free. There's going to be no pitches. There's going to be no, hey, if you do this thing, then you can do this thing or whatever it is. It is truly just to train the free Facebook group on how to do deals with my trained community. It's unconditional. Now, this Elephant Challenge, this is going to be part 1. We're going to teach you guys how to find buyers. We're going to teach you guys how to fill out contracts. We're going to teach you guys how to choose your market. We're going to be very basic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to teach you guys how to submit your first offer. How many people in here have never sent out an offer on a property? How many people? Type in no or me. No or me. Okay. Now we're looking at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of no's or me's in the side chat. That is the objective. The objective is for you guys to send out an offer by the end of the week. Okay. We've got 3 days. Today, 3 hours, mostly information today. Okay. I'm going to train you. I'm going to teach you guys stuff, information today. Tomorrow, we're going to teach you guys comping for 3 hours. And then on day 3, we're going to submit offers. Okay. That's it. That's all we're going to do for these 3 days. Am I going to answer anything about creative finance? Maybe. I might teach you a little bit. But where should you be learning creative finance from? You should be learning creative finance from my community. Okay. You should be learning creative finance from my community, the people that you're going to plug into. Okay. And if you need money for earnest money, this is another common question people get is but I don't have any money. How do I get started without any money? Where are my Gators in here? Where are my Gators? Okay. Those people that are Gators are the people that have money. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Subto community members that have money too, but the Gator specific thing that I train them on is how to get access to money, a lot of money. Okay. So when you're brand new, you ask the question of, I don't know where to look. I don't know where to start. I'm going to teach you where to start. Okay. Today is going to answer the question of where to start. Secondly, we're going to give you guys the ability to tap into those resources. So you don't have to be a Gator. You don't have to be a Sub2 student. You can actually just go and do deals with my community members. Sebastian says, Pace, I have a Sub2 deal in Buckeye, single family, no equity Sub2 deal with you. Purchase it. It's a VA loan, 3%. Needs little to no renovation. Okay. Sebastian Garcia. Awesome. Let me just see if I can bring you up here for a second. I've got people with 9 people have their hands raised. I never trust that because it's like, there's no way that you have a question at this early in the stage of the game. There's just no way. If you do, then you want to tell me what your favorite micro machine is or something weird. Sebastian, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, brother. Is this a contract or a lead?
No, this is I'm getting the contract signed. It's in the process. It's in Buckeye, Arizona.
Yep. I own a lot of property in Buckeye. It's a Sub2 deal, VA.
Yeah.
Sebastian, are you one of my Sub2 students?
No, I am not. Not yet. I've been meaning to purchase it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
I will. Sebastian will never do another real estate transaction with a non-community member. I announced this back in January. I just don't have the time to fix all the problems and the paperwork and all the things about it. You're going to need all sorts of help and guidance from me. What I would do is I would work with my community members here locally. Ingrid Hernandez, Jose says they can help you. Okay. I would love to buy the deal with you, but I will never do a deal with a non-community member ever again. Okay. So what I would do is take your time to communicate in the side chat. Here's what I find, okay, with the non-trained people. You watch what's on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is like 1% of what my trained people actually learn, okay? Mm-hmm. It's entertainment. It's not education. So when you're out there learning my Sub2 about stuff on YouTube, it's giving you guidance to how to get started, et cetera. But now you're going to go, well, did I fill out the paperwork right? Even if you went and got an attorney and they created the $7,000 worth of documents, you're going to be sitting there with the seller going, well, what do I tell them about the due on sell clause and the continued liability of their debt in their name? What do I tell them about when the property is going to be paid off? What if the seller wants a balloon? All of these types of questions, I don't do that anymore. I do it only for my community. And so what happens is when a non-community member brings the deal to me, it takes 5 times as much effort on my part to get the deal done than it does with somebody who's trained inside my community. And so my team, my transaction coordinators, my construction managers, they want an efficient pipeline. And when I put a non-community member's deal in my pipeline, it slows everything down and I can get 5 deals done with my community while I work on 1 deal with you. So it's not efficient. Yeah. It's not a great way to build a business is to do those deals. You need to just work with my community members And that goes for everybody. Even though
Well,
that deal
I just thought I'd ask because I remember in the last elephant challenge not too long ago, you said the only way you would accept a deal from a community member is in Arizona, not from anywhere else. But I have everything pretty much down. The paperwork. I have a transaction coordinator that I'm working with to help me fill out the paperwork.
Sebastian, I almost want to do the deal with you just to highlight what I already know is going to be wrong on the deal.
Yeah.
I already know everybody that says, oh yeah, I got it. I got it taken care of. We have to go back and we have to fix, and I have to sit down with the seller and fix all the things that you told them. In a sub-2 deal or a seller finance deal, it's more than just, hey, I'm taking over your mortgage. There's about 17 disclosures that you have to understand how to articulate because there is a continued liability in a sub-2 transaction. I would have to go back and have that conversation with your seller. If I bought the deal, we got under contract, I would rather just you work with one of my, Caroline, go to Caroline Kane. She actually used to be on my acquisition team. Caroline Kane, why don't you reach out to Sebastian and see if you can help him out? I think that's the best way to do it. She'll help you out. She's been in our community for 3 years or so. All right. Okay, cool. Now that is going, let's do a little bit of house cleaning. We got some Q&A. Guys, we're going to teach you guys how to choose your market today. It should be good. Jill Cottrell, I am wondering if you actually meant to raise your hand. Jill, how you doing? 5, 4. Oh, there we go.
I did not mean to raise my hand. I didn't realize I did. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no worries. Hey, everybody that has your hand raised, can you guys please do me a favor and lower your hands? This is just, basic Zoom etiquette. It's no big deal. I'm not upset about it or mad or anything like that. Just lower your hands. That'd be great. You got about 9 people with their hands raised in Zoom, and y'all don't even know you did it. Virginia Floyd, Aubrey, Edgar Vargas, Angela Payne. If you guys actually meant to raise your hand, then raise your hand. Happy to answer some questions, but I want to just teach, and I don't want to have you guys asking me questions like, what is wholesale? We're going to get to all that stuff. If you have a question that is, you just lack patience and you can't wait for us to get to the topic, please lower your hand. If you have something that you're like, I really need to know this right now and it's on topic, then let's do that. Okay. I've got 3 people with their hand raised right now. Preston Boggs in Ohio. Let's see if he meant to raise his hand. Preston, how can I help you, brother?
Hey, brother. I actually have a development deal in Shelby, Ohio. I actually sent you a Instagram message about it. I'm not sure how to set it up because I got a funder, but he's wanting to
Okay, so Preston, do you think this is the appropriate location for me to train? I have 1,300 people on the Zoom, and I have a topic that I want to teach people, and you're coming in here to talk about a land development deal. If this is a beginner challenge, right? Somebody's just starting out, they don't even know what market they're in, and it's my job to use this 3 hours as efficiently as possible. Right. Do you think this is the format and the time for me to talk about a land development deal with you?
No, sir. I'm sorry.
All right, brother. If you send me a message, I usually respond. I've just been sick. I've got COVID. I took a nap today, so I probably haven't replied back to your Instagram message. I apologize about that. So maybe find somebody. You're in Ohio, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who in my community could you work with in Ohio on this deal?
Not sure. I know a bunch of funders that are in the community, but
okay. So that's where I would start. I would work in the side chat and tell people in the side chat, hey guys, I've got a development deal. Would love to work with people. And that might take you 3 or 4 times of posting it, but you'll find somebody. Virginia Floyd. Let's see one last person. Let's see if we've got a question. Virginia, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, Virginia. Do you have a question that's on topic?
No, I have a question about the 0 down.
Okay, so Virginia, that is a bonus education for the Subto community. This is a free training for the free Facebook group. Would you say that this is the appropriate place to ask a question about 0 down?
Not really.
Okay, so Virginia, what's your question? How can I help you?
I have a business that I would like to do, and I wanted to talk to somebody about it, how to go about it.
Okay, so Virginia, you must be a newer student of mine.
Yes,
would it maybe work if you were in 0 down, you got the education I gave you, and you're in the Facebook group, or you have your local meetup? What city are you in?
Las Vegas.
Okay. How many people in Las Vegas do you think we have in the Subto community?
A lot.
Okay.
I've met quite a few.
Okay. So maybe that's the place to start, is to work there, right? Or wait until I do a live training inside of Zero Down, which will actually happen next week.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Awesome. Again, I'm going to tell everybody what this is for. Now, somebody in the side chat said Pace came out swinging. Have I not just been really polite, guys? Am I being polite? Am I being rude? Am I being any of that kind of stuff? Or am I just being polite? Now, Caroline says, somebody in the side chat, she says, stop answering questions. Caroline, if you knew how to run a 1,300 person training for 3 straight hours and how to watch the chat and handle all these things, I would take advice from you. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know anybody I should take advice from on this exact topic. What's actually smart of me is when I do answer questions, think about what it does psychologically. I'm going to give you a little bit of education, Caroline. If I answer somebody's question live and I utilize their question as a way to educate the audience that this is not the pertinent time to ask a question, isn't it actually very smart for me to answer that question? Guys, I know what I'm doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I do know what I'm doing. I know how to start these out. People show up late. People show up 30 minutes late, 40 minutes late. And then I get people that show up on time and they go, hurry up, Pace, just get started. Totally get that. Thank you so much. I have been doing this for a long time, but I understand that people just show up late. They trickle in. And so what's important for me is to start by educating you guys and giving you some information in the very beginning before we actually get started. Okay. So, was that polite? Was that nice for everybody? Okay. Siraj James, last question. How can I help you, Siraj?
Hey everyone. Hey Pace. Thank you so much. I've been following you almost like 3 months since I was getting lost in all these wholesale real estate things. So my question is, so is this gonna be more like a traditional way, like driving for dollars kind of thing, or like are we gonna making a cold call also?
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say this again. It sounds like you might have shown up a little bit late, but this is a really great question. And let me answer this. Thank you for the question. It's really pertinent. Okay.
Yes.
What is the elephant challenge? Let's write this down. Okay. Let's write this down. What is the elephant challenge? Write it down. So when somebody says, what is the elephant challenge? The elephant challenge is a way for me to teach the free Facebook group how to generate leads and opportunities to then go work with my trained community. Now, that's one sentence, right? That should give you an understanding. How long will I do this elephant challenge for? This is elephant challenge number 1. We're starting from the basics. We're going to help you guys pick your market. We're going to go through and do 12 months of education, Siraj. So if you are currently thinking about going and buying somebody's wholesale mentorship, I'm going to tell you right now that in my free elephant challenge over the next 12 months, this will be worth a $50,000 education live. We will do it every single month. And I'm going to have you memorize and learn a word called chronological. Chronological. So if somebody came in here right now and asked me a question about a land development question, would that be an important question right now? Or should we be focusing on how to get everybody to choose their market? How to get everybody to understand where the opportunities are? Isn't that a better place to start than land development, which would be like 9 months down the road?
Yep.
Okay. So when somebody comes in here and they say, hey, I got a land development question. Well, if I'm doing chronological, means A to Z education over the next 12 months. Yeah, Tracy Numa says you're teaching everything for free. Well, Tracy, tell me you showed up late without telling me you showed up late. You know what I'm saying? Tracy has 2. Tracy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How late did you show up?
It was really rhetorical. I know you said that.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's rhetorical. Okay, cool.
But I asked because this feels free. I get it. I'm a student. And you said before that when you teach stuff that's free, they're not really getting everything that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just trying to figure out what's the difference in what you're doing now and when you say everything on YouTube is not everything that you need.
Okay, so Tracy, here's what people need. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. People need a baseline foundational element in the cash world for free, right? This is cash education. I'm not going to teach Gator in here. I'm not going to teach creative finance in here. I'm not going to go into the nuances of holding properties and expanding and growing your business. I'm just going to be very simple. It's just play by play. Start with the basics. How do I choose a market? Do you know what the real thing I'm doing in here, Tracy, is? I'm going to give everybody in the free Facebook group just enough information that they can bring those opportunities to people in my communities.
Mm.
Okay. I've already said that. You were here for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. Okay. Do you guys now understand why I have to say things 18 times? Because even though, Tracy, you heard me say that earlier, and I was very specific about it. In fact, let me say what the Elephant Challenge is again. The Elephant Challenge is a way for me to teach the free Facebook group how to identify and gather opportunities to then bring those opportunities to the people in my community. Does that not kind of explain the same thing that I just said?
Got it.
Okay. So do you
Makes
understand
sense.
why I'm doing this? Have I given you a clear understanding of what the benefit is to being a student of mine versus being somebody in the free Facebook group?
Yes, I got it.
So look at Angie
for-
Milanazzo, Tracy. If you don't know Angie Milanazzo, you should probably know Angie Milanazzo. She comes into every elephant group, every elephant challenge. She's probably done well over 100 deals with people in the free Facebook group. They generated the lead, and my students, the people in my community, know more than I'm going to teach in here. I'm primarily going to teach the people in the free Facebook group how to generate and identify opportunities. And guess what? I do it 3 days a month. They don't have everything they need. They don't have all the information they need. That's why I'm bringing my leaders of Subto and Gator to help me run the Elephant Challenge so that they can help them get to the finish line. And those students in Subto and Gator can monetize on those transactions. So is this actually to benefit me, Tracy, or is it to actually benefit my Subto community, the top tier TC community, and the Gator community?
Yes, all of the last three you listed. Yes, it's to benefit everybody.
Now, here's the challenge. Does any one of my Subto students or my Gator students, do they have the physical capability of getting 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 people to show up to these things? The answer is no, they don't.
No, right. Yeah.
I know very popular influencers that can't get 200 people to show up to their Instagram lives. Okay. So my job as somebody who wants to provide overwhelming value to somebody who's already in my community is to show the people in the free Facebook group how to do something that you, Tracy, Subto students, Gator students, top tier TCs never paid me to teach them. Nobody ever paid me to teach wholesale and cash opportunity education. I've never been paid for that, ever. Ever once. Never been paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I doing? I'm giving that away for free so that I can help the people in the free Facebook group create opportunities, identify all sorts of things for people in my trained community. So not only does it benefit the free people to identify and find the market they want to focus on, but also benefits the people that are in my communities that they can practice what they have been taught by helping those people cross the finish line and making money together. Do you understand now the vision of what the Elephant Challenge is?
Yes. Yes. Genius.
I am a genius. I will be the first person to admit that when these types of things go on, the challenge is it's impossible for me to explain my vision to people who don't have vision. And so I rarely talk about how smart this is. It's great that you asked this question because it gives me the ability to answer this in depth to everybody. Do we all understand through Tracy's great question what exactly I'm doing in the Elephant Challenge? So is there anything suspect going on, Tracy, that I never charged anybody for cash transactions. You'll never see me sell a wholesale course. Okay.
Right.
So what I'm doing in the Elephant Challenge is I'm helping people identify these opportunities. We're going to teach everybody how to do this. And I'm providing this. Actually, you know who benefits from this the most? Is actually not the people in the free Facebook group. It's actually my students will benefit from this far more than anybody else, because now they have me teaching the free Facebook group how to go and do the grunt work on finding opportunities and then bring those opportunities to my community.
Yes. Yep. Love it.
Okay. Anything else I can answer for you?
No, that was it. Thanks for the clarification.
No problem. Great question. Okay. Suraj, anything else I can help you with before I get started?
You answer all my questions so far. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, great. Now, Daniel says, I'm ready to start with the topics for the day. Daniel, if you spent a day with me and you watched how I have to nuance and say the same thing 18 times, you would also maybe gain a higher level of respect for what it is that I do on a daily basis. I'm 40 minutes into a live training, and you can see I'm answering questions maybe in a different way, telling a story about it. Whatever I've got to do, changing the wording on a question that I literally answered 40 minutes ago. Why am I doing the Elephant Challenge? What's going to be included? What are you going to learn? And then people still come in and go, wait, I'm still confused. So it's actually very smart for me. Okay. It's very smart for me. Now, here's another thing. I'm going to say this last thing to you guys. Pay attention to me and we'll get started. A lot of you guys went to college and you didn't question the fact that you were going to sacrifice 4 years of your life sitting in stupid classes, listening to things that you'll never use, paying those people and driving there, getting out of your car, going into class, brushing your teeth, going to the signing up for the next semester's classes. You did this for years and years and years and years and years, and it benefited you very little. Some of you guys 4 years, some guys 6, some people 8, some people even 12. Okay. Yet when I start a live Zoom that didn't cost you any money, you have the patience of a 13-month child. Why is it that you were so patient to learn and actually pay somebody something that you'll never use and sit in class for years? Yet when I'm explaining to you what the Elephant Challenge is, your patience is the patience of a 13-month child. Okay. So I will go at the cadence that I want to go at. I will teach at the level that I want to teach at. I will answer questions when I want to answer questions. I don't need to be coached on how to be the best in the game at this one thing. I already know I am. If you lack patience, then you can leave and you can go back to your job. If you have patience and you want to actually help in the Elephant Challenge, then please stick around. Here's the thing that's actually the most challenging part. The most challenging part are the students of mine that have actually been trained for the last 2 years or 3 years. They are in a Zoom geared up and ready to help the free people. Who do you think is actually practicing more patience than me? Are my students that have been in my programs for 2 years, 3 years. Why don't we take a moment and thank those leaders for being here? They're not here. They're not paid to be here. They want to do deals with you. Let's take a second and actually thank them and say, thank you, Subto students. Thank you, Gators. Thank you, top tier TC. Thank you for being here. They are the ones that actually already have all the information I'm about to give you. So they're sitting here patiently having to listen to something they've listened to 25 times. They've even mastered it. Some of them could teach it. Okay. But why are they here? Because they are here to watch me be patient through teaching the people in the free Facebook group. That's why they're here. They know that I will help generate a lot of leads for people, and we will see dozens and dozens and dozens of deals get done out of this free Elephant Challenge. They are the ones that are sitting here just going, I know what Pace has to go through. I know Pace has to answer the same 18 questions 100 times. I'm here for it because they know what the Elephant Challenge has done over the last couple of years. Okay. Maria says, I don't know how you do it. I do it for my students. I do this in a way that I can generate a lot of activity, a lot of attention, a lot of love, a lot of everything for my existing students. Okay. So if you are one of my existing students and you already know how to identify and comp a deal and talk to a seller, why don't you type in the side chat, me? And let's find all the people that already know how to do that. They're here. Think about all the people that are in the me. Look at the me's. Literally 200 people, 300 people, 400 people now are in here just to help out the other 900. Okay. So if you are here and you're like, hurry up with the training, stop and ask yourself, did you say that when you went to your counselor, your college administrative office and say, teach me right now, give it to me right now? No, you were grateful to hand your money over to them and get a 4-year degree that was worthless. Okay. So the least you can do is wait for 45 minutes while I let everybody know what we're doing. Okay. Cool. So the people that are the other 900, if you're in the free Facebook group, type in the word free for me. If you're in the free Facebook group as a non-student, free Facebook group, non-student, you are the people I'm doing this for. Look at all those frees. Okay. Keep typing in the word free. You've never paid me $1. You've never been part of any of our communities. You are just here to benefit from all of the 2 years, 3 years, and in some cases, 3.5 years of training that my students have taken from me. Okay. Free. The challenge and why people don't do free challenges, they want to charge you for something, is because free people don't appreciate what's being given to them. You should not feel bad. You should just understand that you just need a little bit of patience. It's going to take 2 more hours today, 3 hours tomorrow, and 3 hours the next day. Okay? Don't feel bad. I don't want you to feel bad not paying for something. I want you to understand what the elephant challenge is. Have we all gotten on the same page in the last 45 minutes exactly what the elephant challenge is? Okay. Very cool. Now today, let me ask you, we're going to start basics, very, very basics. How many people in here, give me a yes or a me in the side chat, how many people in here have still not identified the market that they want to start in? Market meaning city. Give me a me or a yes. Me or a yes, doesn't matter. Okay, great. So it would be kind of crazy for me to just start talking about land development and how to raise money for people that don't even know what market to start in. So that's what we're going to start with today. We're going to start with, how do I choose my market? How do I know where to identify opportunities? How do I know where to go and look for my power team? Okay. You're always going to need a power team when you're in real estate. And we're going to talk about that today. So for the leaders that came in here today that have already heard this 1,000 times, thank you. Thank you. You guys are like the road team for Dave Chappelle. Think about how many times Dave Chappelle's team has to hear the same joke every single night, 100 times over. Thank you for that. I'm recognizing how much work you guys have to do to come in here and be patient alongside me. Okay. Sully says they still laugh. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I can tell you a lot of the stuff I've already said, but we're going to do it chronologically. Chronologically means in order. We're going to give people the information that they need. Now, the number one thing that I have found in all of my years of educating, the number one thing that holds people back from taking action is what? The number one thing is they don't know. It's not fear. It's not fear. I promise you that. It's not fear. Okay. Once you understand some of these things, you guys are giving very generic things. Here, I'll give you the number one thing. Okay. The number one thing that people struggle with in order to get started, okay, is number one, they don't know what their market is. So what they'll do, this is very interesting to me, is they'll go how to learn how to comp. They'll go how to learn how to, they'll go pay somebody $25,000 on how to raise capital. They'll go pay somebody, $15,000 for a wholesale education. And I've taken wholesale education, or my friends have given me access to their wholesale education. And the number one thing is that they don't even teach in any of this stuff is where to choose your market. Okay. They don't know their market. They don't know where to start. Am I going to go to North Carolina? Am I going to go to California? Okay. Jesse says, well, should you start where you live? Not always. Okay. And we're going to talk about that here for the next hour, probably. Okay. They say my pen is going out. No, I just chose a pencil instead of a pen. Here's the actual pen. It's a lot more solid. There you go. It's not going out, guys. It's not a pen. Oh my gosh, I got to not pay attention to you knuckleheads. Okay. So the number one thing that I see that keeps people from being successful is they actually have never chosen their market. So over the next hour, I want everybody to choose their market. Would you guys feel like you move forward in your education today if you actually knew what market you were going to be starting in? Okay. Now, how do I cold call? How do I do anything in the business if I haven't chosen my market? So I see people go learn how to comp, they learn how to raise money, they go pay somebody wholesale education for $15,000, but nowhere did somebody say, this is where you should start. Now, why is that important? Why is a market important? I'll tell you why, but I want to see in the side chat, what else do you guys see why this is important besides okay, your power team? If I go do a deal, okay, if I go do a deal in, let's say, Arizona, in my mind, I didn't just do a deal. Here's what I did. I got a new title rep, right? A new title person. I got a new escrow person. I got a new relationship with a buyer. Okay. I got a new relationship with probably 20 other people like inspector, appraiser, lenders, private money lenders, et cetera, right? So one deal in Arizona would give me, am I getting these relationships in North Carolina when I do a deal in Arizona? The answer is no. So why would I be over here comping? But let's say I go do a deal in Arizona and 30 days later I go, oh, I want to go to North Carolina. I want to switch over to North Carolina. Do you think it's easier to do the next deal in Arizona or the next deal in North Carolina if I've already done a deal in Arizona? Okay, I already have my power team, right? I have the people. Here's me, right? You usually have about 15 people on your power team, and these are all the people. A cash buyer, you've got appraisers, you've got a title company, you've got probate attorneys, you've got all sorts of relationships that you go and develop every time you do a deal. Like right now, I see Jordan Reyes in the side chat. Jordan Reyes and I are doing a deal in Montana right now. We're closing on an RV park, roughly $6.5 million RV park on seller finance. Guess what Jordan and I just acquired? We acquired a new title rep. We acquired a new broker. We acquired all sorts of relationships through this transaction. Wouldn't it just make sense for me to continue to double down and leverage those relationships rather than bounce around from market to market to market to market? Does that make sense? So the second deal is going to be a lot easier than the first deal. In fact, the first deal is all about a handful of relationships. And so in the Elephant Challenge, between today and the end of Friday, we're going to teach you guys how to go acquire a few of those relationships. Okay. So what are the first two relationships I need? I'm going to tell you right now. If I'm brand new, I'm going to tell you who are the two relationships I need. Actually, I'll give you five. I'll give you 5 relationships that you need in your local area. Okay. Number one, you need a title company. Number one, you need a title company. Who's going to do the transaction? Who am I going to open the transaction with? Okay. Second one is I want a buyer. I want somebody to buy with, to buy my deal. Okay. And a lot of times that buyer is maybe even one of these 3 people: Subto student, Gator student, and top tier TC students. Those are the 5 people that by the end of this week, I want you guys to know. Do I need a general contractor if I'm brand new? I don't. Do I need an attorney if I'm brand new? No, I don't. I need these 5 relationships. I need a title company. I need a buyer. That buyer could very often be a Subto student, a Gator student, or a top tier TC. Okay. Tanisha Epps says, hey, Tanisha, good to see you. She's one of the leaders in Subto. She says, I made $10,000 today just from knowing the right people. Now, at one point, Tanisha would come into our Zooms 2.5 years ago or whatever it was, and she would ask questions that were very basic questions. She's had the patience to acquire relationships. So a couple of things. If we have a goal that by Friday, okay, here's our goal. This is what I want you to do. If you're in the free group and you're here for free, you've never been part of any of my communities, say me in the side chat. because I'm going to ask you a question after this. I want to see how many people we have that are not part of any of my communities. Okay. My count right now is somewhere around 900. Okay. We have about 900 people. So out of those 900 people, would you say that all 900 of you guys would be excited if, number one, you were able to send out your first offer by Friday? Would you be happy by that? Two, would you be happy if we helped you find your market? You could identify and find a market. Would you be like, oh my gosh, I've moved forward. I know how to start. I know where I'm going. And then three, you had the relationships you need, right? So the relationships are basically A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. A is your title company. Okay. We're going to help you find that. B is your buyer. Now, a lot of times your buyer will be one of these three people, but let's just assume it's not. Okay. Would you feel like you are so happy if you know a Subto student in your local area, a Gator student in your local area, and a top tier transaction coordinator in your local area? Would you feel like if we just accomplished this right here, the first round of Gator training, you would feel like, wow, I've moved forward. I've got traction. I feel so grateful to do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Give me a yes in the comments. Let me know if you would be ecstatic and you would feel like you've moved forward in your business. Okay. That's all we're going to do. It's going to take us 3 days to do that. You're going to walk out with those things. You're going to accomplish something that basic. It takes time to build these things up. It takes time to accumulate. It takes time to be patient with yourself. You've got, bad habits. You've got incorrect information. You've got all sorts of things. So that's what our main objective is going to be. Okay. It's going to be a boot camp. Basically every elephant challenge, it'll be once a month. Sometimes I think next month, I might do 2 of them in November. I might do 2 of them in December because I have a baby. I'll be home a lot more. And I want the people in the free Facebook group to generate a tremendous amount of leads, okay, for my existing community, okay? So there you go. There is what our main objective is. My main objective, okay, is for you guys to send out an offer by Friday. Choose a market today. We're going to choose that. That's going to be today, okay? Today we're going to choose a market. And then over the next 2 days, we're going to help you guys identify and find these relationships so that you guys have a power team. Okay. So this is your power team. We're going to help you find and identify these people in your local market, your title company, your buyer. Okay. So we're going to call tomorrow. I'm going to call a title company. Tomorrow, I'm going to call cash buyers. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Okay. Chris says offer, meaning loan, LOI. So Chris, great question. Let's touch on that for just a second. That is very, pertinent, I would say. Chris Hovsdesnen. Okay, there we go. Chris, how you doing?
Hi, Pace and community. Thanks for calling on me. This is my very first introduction, and I'm on board, committed. I just discovered you last week.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. Okay, so Joshua Jones says, does Pace own a title company? Yes, I do. I do own a title company, but that's not the point of this question. Thank you for that. Okay, so Chris, an LOI and an offer, what would you say is the difference between those two, or do you need me to tell you the difference?
An offer might probably be a verbal with the seller, and then the letter of intent would be followed to secure that deal.
Okay, so the only place that really uses LOIs is in the commercial space and also in businesses. You're not really using LOIs in single family. Can you use an LOI in single family? Sure you can, but you're going to show your agent or you're going to show your seller who you're working with. It's like, wait, why am I in an LOI? LOI is a letter of intent. In the business buying world, that is as good as a contract. In the single family world, that's just saying, hey, I'm submitting an offer. This is not a binding contract. I can't hold your feet to the fire in the single family world. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to teach you guys how to fill out a contract, and we're going to send a contract as our offer by Friday. Does that make sense, Chris?
Okay. Yeah, it does.
The only place that you should be using LOIs is in the commercial space and in the business buying space. An offer in single family is just way more simple. and it's a way to get your agent or your seller into a legally binding contract. So we will actually be showing you guys how to fill out a contract. Jesse says, my LOI gets ignored, but a contract gets a response even in commercial. So an LOI is like telling a girl, hey, maybe one day we should go out for coffee. That's an LOI. Like I have a letter of intent to potentially take you out for coffee. A contract is, hey, I'd like to see you Friday at 7 p.m. I'll pick you up and we'll go to coffee, right? So we want to show you guys how to be a little bit more committed and show your seller that you're committed as well. So we're going to show you guys how to fill out the contract probably tomorrow or maybe Friday morning. And we're going to show you how to submit it to the agent. Is that helpful?
Thank you. That's perfect.
Awesome. Great question. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. So there you go. Good stuff. Xavier raises his hand. Xavier, if you have a question that is off topic, you're going to get a karate chop from Caroline. What's up, Xavier? How are you doing?
No question. My bad.
Okay. Got it. Hey guys, in the future, if you raise your hand and you didn't mean to, you're a knucklehead. That's all there is to it. Xavier, can you please look out how to lower your hand, please? I lowered it for you, but everybody look for that. Xavier just raised his hand again. Xavier, please, my brother. Guys, don't raise your hand unless you have a question. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. So right now, what I want to do is we're going to choose our markets. Okay. Today, we're going to go and focus on what is my market. I want to focus on what is my market. Now, your market is going to change. Please write these things down. These are important things. I'm in the nitty gritty. I want you to write these things down, and I will write them down for you on the whiteboard as well. But I want you to choose a market. Okay. Number one, that is a good enough population. I don't want you choosing markets that have less than, oops, not $, my bad. I don't want you choosing markets that have less than, I'd say 300,000 people. Gosh, dang. I'm sick, guys, so apologies for screwing up. I want you to have a market that has 300,000 people or more. Why? Why would I want to choose a market that has 300,000 or more? There you go. Demand, more demand. There's people moving there. Okay. Number two, I want you to choose a market based on growth. Okay. We want markets that have probably greater than or equal to a 0.8% growth. Okay. We want them growing 10% basically every 10 years. Okay. There you go. Competition equals comps. Yep. You got demand. You got business being done, right? You want growth. You want markets that have growth. So let's start with those. And I'll go through each one of these with a little bit more information, just FYI. I'm just going to tell you the top line of these and we'll go back through them. Okay. Number three, politics. Now, I'm going to get into something. I'm going to get into something that's going to be a little bit touchy. Okay. Are you guys okay if I get into topic that's touchy, even if I'm not politically affiliated? This is important for you to know as an entrepreneur. What is my political class? Does anybody know what my political class is? Now, somebody's going to assume because I'm white and I'm a business owner that I'm a Republican. I'm an entrepreneur. That's all I am. I'm an entrepreneur. My job is to go and supply income and opportunities for people in my company. That's it. So if I've got, like you guys saw, I saw an article this morning that California is now going to punish parents who do not affirm their children's identity in their gender. Has anybody seen that? Did you guys see how crazy that is? I almost cried when I read this. I was literally going to cry. I was like, California just passed a bill that says that if you as a parent do not affirm your child's identity, even at 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, you can be punished or have your child taken away from you. Okay. So is that a market that I want to go invest in, whether it's real estate? Guys, this literally just happened. I want you to go Google it. That literally happened. I'm not making this up. It's not an exaggeration. It's truly, that's what's happening. Okay. Now it's got to go to Gavin Newsom and all sorts of stuff, but do you think I want to go invest my money? Yeah. Chris says, is this real life? I don't know, man. When I read the article and I went back and I actually saw the interview from the lady who helped create the bill, and I'm listening to this lady. She doesn't even have any of her own kids. Okay. If you live in California, that is a bill that they just passed. It's now going to Gavin Newsom. Okay. So can we agree that politics is actually very important to where you spend your money and where you build your business and the type of employees that you attract? It is very important. Okay. Now, some of you guys are sitting here going, oh, Pace, I'm a Democrat, you Republicans, this, that, and the other. I'm not a Republican. I'm an entrepreneur. Okay. Well, let's look at this. Let's say California is a pretty bad one. So I'll use California in a couple of examples of extremes just to get you guys to understand why it is so important. Let's go to California landlord relocation assistance. Do you guys know about relocation assistance? How if you have a tenant in California and you evict them or they get moved out, you have to pay $40,000 to $50,000 for relocation assistance. Okay. It is absolutely crazy. So if I'm going to go build a business, do you think it's smart for me to go build a business and a rental portfolio inside of California if I have to pay my tenant to relocate? Think it's smart for me to do that? Okay. So you guys can go in here and you guys can do the research yourself, but there is a relocation. When must a landlord pay relocation in California? Relocation assistance payments must be made available to the tenant within 15 days of service of the written notice to terminate tenancy or move out. Landlords may elect to pay relocation assistance through an escrow account rather than provide the full relocation amount the 15th day. So you're telling me that when I tell somebody I no longer want to rent to them, I have to pay for them to go relocate? Ooh, interesting. Under the rent stabilization ordinance, a landlord is required to pay monetary relocation assistance payments to tenants being evicted through no fault of their own. Interesting. All right. Interesting. So I have to pay a tenant. If I decide I don't like that tenant, I don't like the color of their car, I don't like how they do anything. Guys, this is a law. Okay. This is a law. This is not an idea that may be a law at one point. This is a law. Well, guess what? Guess who else has a lot of these laws? Seattle, Oregon, Chicago, New York. Okay. Colorado is starting, Colorado's got some stuff coming up that's pretty crazy, rent control. So imagine all of us together. Okay. Let's see. I get it because it costs $10,000 to rent another apartment. Well, why is that my responsibility for you to go and rent another apartment? Is that my responsibility? Move somewhere else. Why am I taking care of you? That's not my job. Okay. So do we all agree that politics plays a very, very important role in where you go and put your money? So people that come to me and they go, well, you hate California. No, I don't hate California. California hates me. In fact, I love going to California. I think it's amazing. I want to be around the people, the food, the culture. I want to be all around that. But if they tell me that I can't make money in my business, is that where I want to put any of my time, energy, or resources? The answer is no. So you've got to find a place that you can scale. And politics is a very important place for you to scale. Okay. You want to look at and research landlord laws. Is it a landlord-friendly state? Well, how do we do that? It's pretty simple, guys, but let's pull this up. I'll kind of show you. I know there's this thing called Google, but I'll show you how to use it, okay? Let's go to Google and let's type in landlord-friendly states 2023. Boom. Ooh, I like that. Landlord-friendly states ranked. I can tell you Arizona, Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Texas. Okay. Top 6 landlord-friendly states. What's the easiest state to be a landlord in? Arizona is one of the best states to be a landlord. The state has the 11th lowest property taxes in the United States. It also has an eviction process that is one of the easiest to navigate. An eviction can be completed in 1 to 6 weeks from start to finish. Okay, here you go. Here's one that's top 20. Arizona's number 7. Number one, they say, is Louisiana. I believe that. Alabama, I believe it. South Carolina for sure. Nevada, North Carolina is going to be on here for sure. Wyoming, Arizona, West Virginia, Indiana, Florida. Okay, cool. Now check this out. Let me give you guys this link in the side chat so you guys can read this as well. This is important for you guys to know this stuff. It really is. So even if you're just wholesaling, okay? If you're just wholesaling, I can tell you it's just as important as if you are buy and holding. Because let's ask this question. Write this down somewhere in your notes. Am I going to wholesale forever? Yes or no? The answer is no. I don't know anybody that wholesales forever. Okay. Wholesaling is a way to get into the business. It's a good place to build a business for 6-7 years. But what do ultimately everybody start doing? They start buying and holding and building wealth. Okay. So again, if we go back to that thought process, the thought process of every time I do a deal, what am I doing? Write this down. Every time I do a deal, what am I actually doing? Question mark. That's the question. Every time I do a deal, what am I actually doing? I'm building relationships. That's what I'm doing. Because again, go back to our power team. We talked about this earlier. Okay. Title company, escrow officers, lenders, hard money lenders, private money lenders, wholesalers, real estate agents, all of these things, you're connecting with people on a deal. Would it make sense for me to start wholesaling in California and build all these relationships with people in California and go, well, I'm wholesaling in California because, I can wholesale in California. It's easy. But what is the smart person thing? The smart person goes, wait, what happens when I start wanting to buy and hold, which is the inevitable? It's inevitable. You will buy and hold in order to build wealth. What happens if I'm buying and holding and now I want to go and open up another market? Guess what you are now doing every time you open a new market? You are starting from scratch. You are now having to start all these relationships over. So does it make sense for me to be sitting there building all these relationships in California just so I have to go and build all these relationships all over again? For me, as somebody who is forward thinking, now there are people that will fight me on this. There's people that will say, no, California is amazing. I make millions of dollars there. They'll say all these things. Great. Go learn from them. Okay, go learn from them. I'm not the guy that's going to teach you how to go make money in California because I don't believe in holding property in California. There's the link, guys. I'm not the guy that wants to build wealth in New York City, New Jersey, California, Washington, or Oregon, and parts of Illinois. I just am not. So I immediately know that those politics are horrible, which means politics run how I make my money. If we were going to run a sandwich shop and we were constantly voted the best sandwich shop in the state, but the government came in here and says, sorry, you're charging too much money for your sandwiches. And you go, what are you talking about? I got customers lined up. Yeah, but you're charging too much. We had some complaints from people that can't afford your sandwiches. Would that be a place that I want to go build a sandwich location? Or would I want to pick up and leave and go to where I can make money on whatever? Okay. What's interesting to me is people say, well, California's great. Guys, they are prohibiting you from charging how much you could on your sandwiches. No matter how good you make your product, no matter how good you make your service, the government's going to tell you how much you can charge. That's not very American in my mind. And so I'm going to go to states that want me to make money. Okay. California is a great place to visit. It's not a great place to build your wealth. Okay. I love California. I would live in California and invest in other places. Okay. Guess what though? When you start your LLC in California, they charge you $800 a year just for your LLC. There's a lot of other reasons why. Okay. Who's in California? You have to pay your $800 per LLC every single year. Okay. So you guys are sitting there going, look at all these people saying me, guys. Politics matter. And I'm not here to make people's feelings feel better. I love California. I love visiting there. I love the food, the culture, the people. I love everything about it. But your government does not want you to make money. Okay. Josh Jones says, do you recommend starting in multiple markets at once? Josh Jones, what do you think the answer to that question is? Do I want you to be overwhelmed in the very beginning, or do we want to just start slow? What are we really doing when we do deals? Let's answer that question. What are we really doing when we do deals? Building relationships, creating a power team so that we can scale and expand. So does it make sense for me to be in 2 markets in the very beginning, or is it better for me to be in 1 market in the very, very beginning? 1 market. Okay. Bowen says, what about foreclosures? I'm not sure how foreclosures have anything to do with what we're talking about right now, but let's see. He says, let's see if this is a good question. Bowen, what is exactly your question? Hello? You are unmuted. You should be able to talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you. What do you mean by that?
Well, you're talking about investing in different states and stuff. I'm from Texas, and we're growing a lot. I'm in a small city in Texas, but I see foreclosures around me. They're kind of showing even more. So I guess that was my question. I'm sorry if it's not related. I had that question in my head.
Okay, great. It's a great question. It is not at all related, which is okay. I'm going to use your question to actually show you why it's not related, and that might help a lot of people. So great question. Okay. So think about this, guys. Here's the phase of learning this business. Look at the screen. Please look at the screen. Okay. Step number 1 on my path to getting a check is choosing a market. Right? That's step number 1. I got to choose a market. I got to make a business. I got to have some relationships. Then you're going to implement your strategy. So foreclosures is a strategy. Would it make sense for me to start saying, hey, I want to focus on foreclosures before I've even picked my market? Anybody? Bueller? Would it make sense for me to go and choose foreclosures before I've even created a business? No, chronological. Remember in the very beginning of the challenge, I said chronological, okay? Chronological. Chronological means A to Z. I'm going to teach you guys A to Z. So what I'm teaching you is market. The problem is I'm speaking slow and I'm making sure everybody understands where I'm going, okay? I'm letting people know how to choose a market. And some people in here are so impatient, right? We're in the TikTok culture that their brain is already on strategy. Guys, focus on the one thing. Focus on the one thing that you need currently, okay? The foreclosures work in every market. We do not need to talk about strategy today. We'll talk about strategy tomorrow and the next day, but today we're talking about market. I want you guys to walk away knowing your market, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? That's strategy. Strategy. Okay. A lot of foreclosures in every market. There's not a single city in the country that does not have foreclosures. We have foreclosures everywhere. Okay. Cool. So are we going to talk about strategy at some point? Are we going to talk about how to go out and generate these leads? Foreclosures. Okay. Guys, pay attention to this. Foreclosures is a list. It's a list. So when you decide what strategy you're going to use, the next question you're going to ask is, what list am I going to apply to that strategy? Strategy is what? Strategy is, am I going to cold call? Am I going to text? Am I going to send out direct mail? Am I going to door knock? Am I going to drive for dollars? Am I going to, that's strategy. What's my lead generation strategy? And then you're going to say, well, am I going to door knock foreclosures? Am I going to door knock probates? Am I going to door knock divorcees? Am I going to door knock bankruptcy? Am I going to door knock tax liens? So door knock is a strategy. Cold calling is a strategy. Driving for deals is a strategy, right? Sending out mail is a strategy. Billboards is a strategy. Facebook marketing is a strategy. But then you have to apply it to a very specific list. Okay. Divorce, high equity, low equity. We can't even talk about that yet. Okay. This is the problem with a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people are like, well, I don't understand it. Somebody actually asked me a question. Okay, Charles, another non-topical question. Austin, or I'm sorry, not Austin, but who asked that question? So Charles is asking a non-related question, and that's okay. but I'm going to point out to you guys why these questions should relate or wait until we get deeper into the training. Charles, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. How are you, Pace?
I'm good. So pre-foreclosure, not that this has anything to do with what we're training on, but I want to answer this question so you understand how this won't help you choose a market, really. But it kind of does a little bit because there's politics involved. Okay.
Gotcha.
A pre-foreclosure is very literal, Charles. It's pre-foreclosure, which means that the bank has not filed foreclosure on the seller yet. It means that they're 30 days late. They're 60 days late. They're 90 days late. Okay. Somebody that's in foreclosure means that they have actually received a letter from the bank saying we intend to foreclose on your property. Okay. So there's three parts to this. Okay. Three parts to this. Now, why would I choose one strategy over a different strategy? Okay. Foreclosure. I just call them foreclosures, just so you know. Because a foreclosure is somebody that indicates they're in pain. They can't pay their payment, right? That's their pain point.
Right. Their motivation.
Right. We call that the list. What list am I calling on? What motivational list am I calling on? There's three parts to a foreclosure. Okay. Check it out. There's pre-foreclosure, means that they are now 30, 60, 90 days late. Then there's people that are in foreclosure, and depending on your state, this could be 3 months or this could be 6 years. Okay. Does anybody know what state is probably going to be amazing? If I want to focus on foreclosure, do you think the politics of foreclosures are going to be really beneficial to me in California, or are they going to be better for me in Arizona? Okay. So politics do play a part of this. So when you get to your strategy,
You're asking me Arizona?
Yeah. Arizona is a market that you can foreclose on people very quickly. Same thing with Texas. Okay. Why is that important? Am I the one that's actually foreclosing on them, Charles? Charles?
Arizona. Sorry,
Okay.
I got a headset on and it's going back and forth between my phone and my head.
Okay. So Charles has got bad internet. No big deal. I'm not the one that's actually filing the foreclosure, am I? Somebody's behind. So guys, you see how we're getting ahead of ourselves? Write this down. The reason I'm lost is because I'm impatient. Let's be honest with ourselves. The reason you're lost is because you're impatient. You can't wait to get through market. You want to start asking about foreclosures. That's not even remotely close to what we're talking about today. So when you guys are sitting there saying, I'm lost, I'm overwhelmed, it's because you are not patient. You can't get through things in a chronological or succinct way. You can't even wait until we're done talking about market to start talking about foreclosure. Now, do you see why people don't like teaching for free? And you guys are like, hey, Alberto Garcia. Alberto, I'm going to pull you up here just one time because you're putting your information in the side chat, and I've asked you guys not to do that. And you're one of my students, so I'm going to yell at you. Okay? Alberto.
Hello?
How late did you show up that you feel like it's okay for you to put your information in the side chat?
A little late.
Okay, so Alberto, thank you for putting that in the side chat. We spent 15 minutes in the very beginning letting everybody put their contact information in the side chat, and I then turned that off. You showed up late, and you've put your information in the side chat. Please don't do that.
Gotcha.
Okay? I love you. I appreciate you, but I got to point out, guys, I don't need you putting your information in the side chat. Okay? We've already done that. We've gone past that point. We don't need you putting that stuff in there. We all agree? Okay? He didn't do anything wrong except he showed up late. But if you show up late, you just lose some of your rights. If you show up on time and you go through, do you see the biggest problem with everything in people's lives? The biggest problem is people don't pay attention. The next biggest problem that people have is they lack the patience to wait for the information to come. Okay? So when you show up 15 minutes late, should you be raising your hand the second you sit down and you go, hey, teacher, I have a question? What do you think your teacher's going to say? Your teacher's going to say, we probably already covered it. Are you sure that this is something we're not? Oh, but teacher, I just got a question. I got a question. Okay. What's your question? Guys, when you show up late, do everybody else the respect of just not asking questions. Okay. Now, here you go. The next step in a foreclosure is REO. REO means real estate owned. Real estate owned. Real estate owned. What does that mean? It means that right here, okay, the bank sends out a letter right here. Here's the letter in the foreclosure process. They're pre-foreclosure. It's public data. We can show that they're late. So people are calling pre-foreclosures. Then the letter goes out and they're actually in foreclosure. Then the bank actually takes the house back. And when the bank owns the house, it's called real estate owned. Stay away from REOs. It's not worth your time right now. It's not a beginner strategy. Stay away from REOs. Some people say, oh, I'm an REO agent. Good for you. Stay away from REOs. Stay away from REOs. Stay away from REOs. It's a waste of your time. Okay. All right, cool. So right now we're choosing market, right? Let's go through the list one more time before I get sidetracked again. My population, we're going to show you guys how to do that. Growth, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Politics, just showed you that. Okay. And a lot of times I will choose a market based on my number 4, which is resources. Okay. Where do I have good relationships? Where do I already have people that are in that market? Gina Marciano. Gina, do you think that me deviating and saying, what about wholesaling and REO would be a good use of my time right now in this education? Should I stop and answer your question right now? Okay. Let's stay on topic, guys. Let's ask questions about market. Okay. Let's ask questions about market specific questions. Okay. So population, growth, politics, resources. Okay. So number 5, future. Now this one, you probably don't need to worry about so much, but I do identify future. If I'm going to spend a lot of time in Montana, an area that I normally wouldn't invest in, but I spend my summers up in Montana, would it make sense for me to invest in Montana? The answer is yes. Okay. So where do you see yourself in 20 years? Do you guys all want to be living where you're currently living right now in 20 years, or do you want to live somewhere else? Okay. I know where I'm going to live in 20 years. I know where I'm going to live in 20 years. Okay. So a lot of people are saying, I want to be somewhere else. Okay. So wouldn't it be intentional and really intelligent for you to start choosing a market that you already know where you're going to go? So Jeremy Stafford says, I won't be in California. I'll be somewhere else. Edgar says, Hawaii. Okay. Edgar, awesome. You then have to go back. Okay. Lester says half-time here and half-time somewhere else. Same thing for me. Okay. For me, I want to spend my summers in Montana. So wouldn't it make sense for me to have some stuff in Montana pop in and cook in so that when I'm up there, I can actually work? Okay. Mike says overseas for me. Okay. I'm not going to be able to give you any advice on overseas, unfortunately. Okay. I'm going to be in Oregon and Florida. So Cindy, it would probably be more intelligent for you to build your portfolio in Florida because yes, creative finance is in Europe, creative finance is everywhere, guys. North Carolina and Florida. Okay, cool. So let's go to the Census Bureau. Okay, we're going to go to the Census Bureau. I'm going to show you guys how to find population growth on the Census Bureau. And I'm going to give you guys the link so you guys can kind of go through it and figure out what you want to focus on. Okay. So let's go to Google and let's just type in population growth by state census. Okay, so this is the government's website, state population goals. There's an actual map for this. It's a really great map. Sometimes I have to refine this all the time. Data tools and apps. State population totals, components have changed 2020. Population and unit. Oh, that's an Excel spreadsheet. I don't want that. Oh, I got to put in a map. My bad. There you go. Interactive map. Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you guys this link while I look for it. These are really cool maps. These are government maps. I did not make them up. This is not anything that costs money. So again, trying to make sure you guys have free information. There's the Census Bureau link. It's right there in the side chat. So click on it. Okay. So I'm going to go to the interactive map. Okay. Census, field address, canvassing, demographic data viewer, address count, listing files viewer. Okay, cool. Metrics, Census Bureau. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Centers of population. Okay. Let's go focus on this for a second. Let's see what this gives me. Slow because now there's 1,000 people on here. Even the government's website can't handle 1,000 people. Okay. Nope, I don't want that. Wow, y'all are shutting this thing down. I think I can choose, once I get on one of these maps, I think I can choose the population growth. Okay. All right, here we go. Percentage of, okay, that's not what I want. Self-response, internet, household review, proxy, administrative records, population count only. There we go. Cool. That's not what I want. Sometimes you got to search around for a minute, guys. Sometimes you got to be patient while you go through this. I know it's in here. Maybe somebody can help me find it since I'm. Okay, this is it. Okay, cool. So population. Okay, population density, population change. There we go. Okay, so immediately, check this out. Immediately, you can see, all right, so this is from 2010 to 2020, percentage change by state. You can tell right now, Mississippi, Illinois, and West Virginia are 3 states that already immediately have lost their population. Look at Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has lost 10% of their population. Actually, it says 29. Look how much people have left this area. Okay. So do I want to grow? Do I want to go there and people, oh, it's hot right now. Okay. Well, I want to look over a 10-year average. Where is it growing? Okay. Let's go in on, I'll give you guys this map. Hold on just a second. I don't do outside of the country acquisitions, guys, just FYI. So if you're going to ask questions about, look at this. It's pretty simple. We can see zip codes, percentage change by county. Look at this, gain of 60% or more. Do you think I want to be in the orange areas? Do you think I want to be focusing over here in Arizona? Do you think I want to be focusing here in Utah? Do you think I want to be focusing here in Nevada? Probably not. So then you can divide down and you can actually get deeper into this and it'll give you better information. But this will help you choose a market that's growing. Why is it important for me to buy in a market that's growing? Why is it important for me to buy in a market that's growing? Appreciation and rent growth. So if I buy a property in my portfolio, don't I want that to actually grow in future rent? I want to raise my rent every 24 to 36 months, right? So if there's not enough houses, but there's a ton of demand, I'm going to be able to fix and flip really successfully too, right? What about if I buy a property, I hold it, it's not only going to appreciate, but I'll cash flow more. That's cool. What about job growth, right? I can build. Okay. Everybody's got the link. There's the link one more time. Okay, cool. So based on this, I want you guys to just take a couple of minutes. I want you guys to go in here and kind of go through the areas that you already thought you liked and just focus on them. Because I get a lot of people go, oh, I want to go to Puerto Rico. Yeah, I look at the Puerto Rico map. This is the government's census saying, hey, there's a dip in population of 30%. That's probably not an area that I want to go and focus my time and energy. Okay, now here's a market that Jordan Reyes and I just bought an RV park. It's grown 30% roughly. Obviously, it's going to take me a second, but this little market right here is Kalispell, Whitefish, all of these areas. This is a market I already know. Man, the government sucks. Can't even handle 1,000 people on their website without the internet crashing. Okay, so this is a market I'm in. I'm going to see where I have green market. So I own property in Vegas, so that's here in this little area. I own property here in Arizona. I also own a bunch of property right here in this little slower one, so it's less growth. I own a bunch of property in Dallas. I own a bunch of property in San Antonio area, San Angelo area, Houston as well. So I'm look at my areas. I'm already in these big areas. It's going great for me. I also own in North Carolina and South Carolina, right here in these green areas. I own a bunch in these green areas in North Carolina. Love North Carolina. I also own a bunch in Georgia, right in here. I own a bunch in Georgia. I own a lot in Florida. So really, I've focused all of my efforts on areas that are growing. I don't know what the hell is going on with freaking North Dakota right here, what this is all about. Must have been for like the oil stuff, okay? But this is where I want my population growth, population change, okay? I want to know that the population is growing in the areas that I'm choosing to do deals, not only for cash opportunities, but also fix and flip, okay? If you have chosen a market that has yellow or dark orange, is that a market you should probably contemplate changing from? Okay, so people are asking, what is the name of that website? It is interesting to me, the more I teach, the more I realize how often I have to say the same thing 100 times. The link was shared 3 times in the side chat. And I now have paused the chat just to make sure that everybody who needs access to this map has access to that map. Okay. Give me an emoji, thumbs up, a heart, give me something and let me know that you have gotten the link. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to turn the chat back on. I actually do enjoy the chat. So we're going to keep the chat going and flowing. But you guys need to make sure you click on that link. Okay, cool. So have we chosen, let's take a couple minutes. Does anybody know exactly what market you want to focus on when you start? Does anybody know? Tell me in the side chat. I want to know. Not just yet, but yes. Give me a lot of yeses. Okay, Kevin Dickey says, not really. So let's have a conversation with Kevin and let's see if Kevin needs a little bit of insight. Okay. Kevin, how you doing?
Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah. Where are you stuck?
Well, I wanted to stay in LA, but
Why?
after those articles you showed me, well, I live here, so I like Los Angeles.
Well, who says Los Angeles isn't awesome? It is awesome, but is that really where you want to invest your money? I mean, you have driven around your city, right?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, this is going to come off sounding very judgy, but your city's total shit, right? It's like, it's the opening of a zombie apocalypse movie when you drive around your city.
Some parts of it's true. I will agree with that, but not every part of it.
I mean, you have 70,000 homeless people in your city, right? So like, yes. You have some really nice areas, of course, but you step 1 foot outside of your area, that's where you're building your businesses. That's where you're going to have your rentals. That's all the rent control that you have in LA. Is your intention just to fix and flip and to wholesale? If it is, then I think LA might be a good place for you to go. But do you at some point intend on holding property in LA?
That was the goal, but now with the landlord issues, that's no longer what I want to do. Doesn't seem feasible, like you said. It's not like they want you to make money here.
And Kevin, you're in LA, so you know this, but you probably have friends that talk about the rent control, or maybe even friends talking about, landlord relocation costs and all that kind of stuff. Have you heard about that stuff?
The landlord relocation I haven't heard of, but the rent control, I mean, when I would look for apartments, I don't know, I own a property now, but like I live in it. But before, when I was looking for apartments, I would go online and make sure it was rent controlled, so it wouldn't go up like 10% a year after I moved in.
Okay, cool. So when
I'm
you were
assuming everybody does that.
cool. So that's your customer, right? Your customer is actually looking for rent controlled buildings so the rent doesn't go up. That's where you want to own property, or you don't want to own property?
Not anymore, no.
Okay, got it. So that's where you're stuck?
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to do LA, is going to be San Antonio, which I was just looking at. My map's still loading, so I can't really look.
Got it. Okay. I think San Antonio is a good market. A lot of growth. Texas is a really pro business area. A lot of opportunity in San Antonio. I'll probably get 12 to 15 opportunities to buy a Subto deal there every single month. So a lot of opportunity. I think San Antonio is a great market. Now, why would you think that San Antonio is a good market?
My brother lives in Texas, and he's talking about how much it's growing. So
love it.
He doesn't
Okay,
live in
so
San Antonio. He lives in
guess what
Austin.
else we just talked about? We just talked about right here, right? You've got resources, you've got relationships in that specific market. So it makes sense for you to start in a market where you already have people that are boots on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
True.
You got boots on the ground. So this is a big reason why you should you should go to San Antonio, is because you already have somebody you can trust. Versus what other people do is they go, I don't have any resources there, but I really like the market. I think even if there was a better market for you to start in, let's say demographically or politically, I would still tell you that because you have resources and relationships there, that's a better place to start, because you now have somebody you could reach out to.
But in that case, where you're saying, because was it step number 5, future? Like, I don't want to live in Texas. By doing working somewhere that's going to make money, but that makes it an issue, because there's no way I'm knocking on doors or driving around in Texas,
Got it. So a couple of things. I don't need to live by the properties that I buy. In fact, a lot of my properties I've never physically been to, nor do I ever have the intention of ever seeing them. One of the biggest challenges I have, Kevin, is that I have to teach a wide array of people that are all completely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people, they have small goals. Sometimes their goals are like, I would love to just buy 10 rentals and be done. Okay. That's not me. I'm the guy that wants to build until I die. I'm going to build, learn, earn until I die. So I chose Montana because 2 years ago realized I was going to start spending time in Montana, but Montana was never part of my original buy box. But when I started visiting Montana, I was like, I really don't like being on vacation. That's not my intent. That's never my intention, is to go on vacation. I don't like vacation. I can't hang out with people that go on vacation. It's just not my thing. If I go and take my family somewhere, I'm working and my family's doing something, right? So I chose Montana for that reason. Oh, I'm in Montana. I'm spending 3 months here. I might as well buy property here, so I have things to do and stories to tell and da. That doesn't mean that should be my sole area because I see myself spending my summers there. It just means, oh, I'm here a lot. Maybe I should buy some properties because I'm here a lot, right? But what about the other 1,000 doors I have that I've never visited? Literally, I have 1,000 doors between apartment complexes and single family properties I've never been to. Those I buy just because they're political, population, growth, resources, etc. The only reason I buy based on future is because I'm in Montana, right? So it doesn't mean that San Antonio is the only place you should be buying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, you might not know, Kevin, where you're going to end up, right?
Yeah.
So maybe throw number 5 out the window because it doesn't really pertain to you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Doesn't pertain to you because you don't know where you're going to end up. You are in California. You're having fun there. You get older. Do you have kids?
No.
You plan on having kids?
Unless you count cats and dogs. No kids.
You'll never. Okay, then maybe LA is for you. LA is for people that don't have kids and don't want to leave their house. So maybe that's a good place for you to start. I don't know. But the challenge is the political side of things, right? You get a tenant that decides not to pay on one property that could bankrupt you on one property because of California's inability to get them out of your property. So let's go back to strategy. Are you planning on wholesaling and fixing and flipping, or do you actually want to buy and hold and build wealth?
Buy and hold.
Okay, so I'm going to suggest to you to not choose California if you want to buy and hold, because again, when we do a deal, what else do we do, Kevin?
Build relationships.
There you go. So do you want to build relationships in California in an area that you don't intend on actually holding property long-term?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Makes sense to build it somewhere else.
Okay, so I would suggest San Antonio is probably a good market for you to start.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Why? Well, because guess what, Kevin? You can buy 10 properties there, 15 properties there. You can start utilizing your brother as a backbone. You can stabilize those, meaning getting them rented out and have money coming in. And then if you decide I want to open into a second market, you can. But we're just talking about where you're going to start. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going to start?
San Antonio.
Cool. There you go. So do you have your answer?
Yes.
Okay. So you've moved forward in your education. You now know I am starting in San Antonio. That's my market.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Awesome. Congratulations. So now everybody else, you don't have to commit to this like it's your wife. Okay. You can easily just choose a market, focus on it for 6 to 12 months. And if you decide either A, to open a second market, or B, shut down that market and focus on another one, that's perfectly fine. Okay. So let's just think about if I'm starting out, I don't want anybody answering this question if you've already done deals and you've already picked your market. But today, based on population, growth, politics, okay, and your resources, who has picked a market today from the last hour and 15 minutes of training? Who's picked a market? Okay, tell me what those markets are. And don't say Florida. Say the city. I don't want to hear a state. I want to hear a city. Let's get specific. Okay, love it. Denver, Dallas, Star. Okay, got it. Love it. Austin. I don't see a single city I don't like. Los Angeles, really? You're going to start in Los Angeles. You're being serious. Okay. That's what you want. I got it. Wait, somebody just said New York City. You're being serious? Lester Basillo says New York. Lester, are you being serious right now? With what we just talked about with rent control and all that kind of stuff, are you sure you want that? Lester, what's up?
Mute. Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Why would you choose New York? Tell me your logic there.
I know the city. I like the city.
Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with long-term rents. Do you want?
I know it doesn't have anything to do with the market. This is the market I know. So
okay.
This is one of many markets.
So you're okay with having a property in New York that you can't evict somebody through some sort of, or you can't foreclose on somebody if you sold them a wrap or you did something along those lines. You can't foreclose. You can't get people out of your properties through evictions. You're okay with that?
No, but it's one of those markets you have to choose very carefully, right? You have to choose your property, choose what, your investment super carefully.
Okay, got it.
But I hear you, 200%.
Okay. So in the future, all you're telling me is you're saying, I'm okay making my bed and I'm okay sleeping in that bed, choosing a market that does not want me to make money as a landlord.
If you put it that way.
I mean, any other way to put it?
No, there isn't.
Okay. So Lester, your justification for choosing your market is I live here and I know the market. How did you learn the market?
How
did you learn the market, Lester? Is it impossible for you to learn a different market?
No, it is not impossible to learn a different market. No, absolutely not. There are other markets I invest in. So this is just the market I live in, but I do have other markets that I invest in.
Okay. So Lester, when I asked the question earlier, I said, I don't want people who have already chosen a market and done deals in other markets. This is a question for people who have never done a deal before choosing their first market. And you still answered. Do you remember me saying that?
I do.
Okay. So I'm going to jump off Lester because Lester is not, he answered the question based on him already doing deals. So that's not a great person to answer that question. So who does not have, you've never done a deal, but today you chose your market. If you are one of those people, put your city in the side chat. Casey says, this man is savage. No, I'm not savage. I'm just trying to make sure we stay on topic. And if I ask you a question, you shouldn't be answering it if it doesn't pertain to you, right? Is that savage or just trying to make sure that the people that came in here to learn are getting what they need? Okay, cool. I like all these areas. I like them. If I see somebody doing New York and you're starting out there, I really want to just pick apart and like understand why you would do that. Because what ends up happening, again, what's the number one reason why people fail? What's the number one reason why people fail to get started or launched is because they didn't choose a market, or they chose a market that they can't scale inside of. Okay. It's not lack of knowledge. They haven't chosen their market. I promise you. The number one reason I see people not succeed is because they haven't chosen their market. Okay, cool. Who has not chosen their market? Okay, Caroline says me. Let me go to Caroline. Let's see what's going on. Well, hey, Caroline, do you know that you are logged in about 45 different times in here in like 45 different names? I just typed in your name and it's like you have 45 different logins. I don't know. Okay, so Caridad. Let's pull up Caridad. Caridad. I hope I'm saying that right. I probably am saying it wrong.
Hi, yeah, sorry about the background noise. Yes.
Oh, it's okay. How do I pronounce your name?
Caridad.
Okay, what?
Or Carrie for short.
Carrie, where do you live?
New York City.
Oh, so this is why you're having a hard time.
Yes.
Okay, so Carrie Dad, when you go look for a property, do you think you're going to go and knock doors? Is that what your strategy is going to be?
I'm probably gonna go off a list, not knock doors, probably cold call.
Okay, great. So if you are knocking doors, if you're like, I know I'm going to knock doors, I know that's what I'm going to do, which 99% of people fail at, even though it's a great strategy, people just are not consistent. I would tell you to choose your own market. But because you're not going to be knocking doors, which requires physical proximity to the houses, then you could pick any market besides New York. So is there anything on top of your mind that you're like, I would like to go in this market? Anything, top 3, top 2, top 1?
Probably Georgia. I have family in Georgia.
What part of Georgia?
Beaufort and Cummings.
Okay, I like both of those markets. I like both of those. So pick one of those, and that's where you start for the next 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because you can just as easily call in Georgia as you can on New York properties, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't really make a difference, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay, cool. So you got your market.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So anybody else? Leader J Rich says stay in one market for 6 months. Yes. If you're brand new, right? Can't you have a contract written so if it's a problem? Jesse, I don't know what that means. Jesse, you're logged into 2 different names, just so you know. Jesse, how you doing? Hello? Jesse? Jesse, you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What was your question about the contract? I'm sorry.
Yes. What I'm saying is that I know in different markets there's problems with the landlord situation. That's what I was referring to. Can't you draw up a contract, or can anybody draw up a contract where it's safe for the buyer or the person or the landlord that as the contract is drawn up as, so it won't be a problem for tired renters or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to explain.
Okay, so what you're actually asking me is you're saying, hey, the state law or the law says that I cannot evict somebody, so I'm going to change what my contract says so I can evict somebody.
Yeah, if something happens, if I'm tired of
No. That's the reason it's called a law. You can't, it's kind of like if I tell a police officer, hey, police officer, I know your speeding limit was 45, but I have this written contract that says I can speed at 65 and not get in trouble. Like I can't change the law, right? So if I have landlord laws, what good is a law if somebody can just draft up a contract and go around it?
I was just asking. That's
I understand. I'm asking a question. I'm asking you a question so we can get to the answer.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
So is the answer yes or no?
Yes.
What good is a law, state law, if I could just bypass it with a contract with my tenant? Is it a good contract? Would that work or would it not work?
It won't work.
There you go. Daniel says contracts are void if they have illegal provisions. Great answer. Good question, Jesse. So no, I can't get around the state laws. Okay. You cannot get around the state laws. Is a 2-hour drive away from a market a bad choice? Let's talk about this for a second. What's the mindset of you guys that wants to be next to the properties so badly? Why do you need to be next to the properties? Is it because there's this limiting belief maybe that you need to be next to the property? Like are all of a sudden you're a plumbing expert or electrician expert? Like you're going to go and change out the toilets yourself? Comfort zone. Okay, cool. Cool. Sam says, I am, I guess. Is that a good use of your time? Let's say that hypothetically Ingrid Hernandez, one of my leaders, just broke one of my rules. Ingrid, shame on you. Do not put your contact information in here. Can't trust a property management company. I love that. Ever Bahina, you are a future seller of mine on a tired landlord list. Ever Bahina, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Pace?
Do you want to just, every time you find a deal, you want to just sign it over to me? Because I already know I'm going to buy it in 15 years anyway.
You got it.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like the reason why I get, what is a tired landlord ever other than somebody who says I can't trust a property management company, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So they never learn the task of delegation. And so what they do is they end up just doing it all themselves. And then 15 years later, I'm cold calling them in an Elephant Challenge 2040 and I'm buying their property. And they're like, yeah, dude, I'm burnt out. I hate this property. I hate my tenants, etc. So that is a skill that you do have to acquire. But somebody that's in here, don't you think it is a different demographic of people that are in here that are like, I am going to learn how to manage my properties. I am going to learn how to find the right property management company, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So Ever, that's a good statement. I like it. Thank you for that. I just want to let you guys know that the people that are sitting here going, well, you know what? I don't want to, I can't trust a property management company. That's a limiting belief. I have nothing but property managements. Okay. Tanisha says, I manage several of my own out of state. Let's ask Tanisha a question. Okay. Tanisha. By the way, her name is Tanisha Spencer now. She's recently married. Tanisha, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Good to see you. Hey, Tanisha, is there a big difference between the properties that are in state for you and the ones that are out of state, or is it basically the same?
There is not a major, actually, to be honest with you, the ones that are in state are the ones I'm more tempted to go look at. So I actually prefer the ones out of state because it forces me to think like an investor as opposed to thinking like somebody that has to go and try to do everything myself.
Okay. So guys, write that down. Okay. Listen to that. She says, I am more tempted to go waste my time on properties local to me than the ones that are outside of the state. That's the right mindset. So what happens is I'm forced to find a good handyman. I'm forced to find good resources. But when it's down the street from me, I take the easy, lazy route and I end up going and talking to my tenants and they get to know me and all these stupid things. Okay. Stephanie's.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. But I think we all started there. You probably started there thinking that you wanted stuff close to you, right?
I did. And then I bought 4 properties in a state that I've still never been to. And it changed my mind immediately.
Okay, cool. So there you guys go, right? Tanisha has been in our community for, you've been in Subto for 2 years?
Almost 3.
Almost 3. Okay, great. So And I was texting you on the plane the other day. I was like, what are you working on? What do you have going on? I was just thinking about you. And I love the mindset that you have. That's such a good mindset, especially somebody that I would assume, Tanisha, you are a little bit more of a risk adverse person.
Very much so, yes.
Okay, so you fixed and harnessed that mindset of I'm okay owning properties outside the state to the point where you're like, it's actually better for me to own outside the state, even though you are a risk adverse person naturally.
Yes, and you definitely helped me with that mindset as well. So I am super, super grateful. But yes, and now the ones even in state, I constantly have to tell myself, act like they're not here so that you can pay somebody to go do what they're good at so I can do what I'm best at.
There you go. Love it. Are you out driving around right now?
I'm going to pick up Milo from basketball practice.
Oh, sweet. Guys, give Tanisha Spencer congratulations in the side chat. I was just at her wedding in Virginia the other day, Richmond, Virginia. It was a great, beautiful wedding. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And by the way, Tanisha has a great YouTube channel. If you guys want to learn midterm rental stuff, go look up Tanisha Epps on YouTube. She's amazing. Okay, what if you hired your in-house okay, cool. Is this okay? We don't need to zoom through stuff. We can go slowly and make sure people understand this. I want to make sure that everybody chooses their market today. Martin, how you doing?
Hey, Pace, I'm doing good. And yourself?
Good. I don't understand the question quite.
So, like, what if you were hire your own, because I know you have to hire like property managements and they take like some percentage out of your, commissions and stuff. But what if you hire like your own, person to take care of all your properties?
Yeah, I have that now. If you guys want to see. Here, let me switch this up real fast. So I have that now. Here's what mine looks like, okay? My team looks like this. And this isn't right away. This takes a while. But I would say for the first 3 properties, maybe 3 to 5 properties, you are going to do everything yourself. Okay? After that, your team should look like this. It should be you, hire a property management company. I use a company called Mind Property Management, and they're in all 50 states. You guys can look them up, and they manage all of my single family properties. Okay. Then after you get to probably 30 to 50 rentals, which is a lot, most people will never get that in their lives. But once you get to that point, you now have Pace. Then you have an asset manager and an asset manager, depending on how big you get. Okay. And they then manage the property management companies like Mind. And this person's in charge of, let's say, 500, and this person's in charge of 500. So every time you get new 500, you get another asset manager. Okay. And they're basically overseeing what the property management company is doing. So that's where I'm at now. But when you first start, you just do it yourself for the first 3 to 5.
So you pretty much get everything out of your hands. If the property management has to go through you, they just go through your assets.
Yeah, like think about this. Do you think that Elon Musk could scale Tesla if he just, put all the tires on the car himself?
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay, so are we trying to be big business owners? Or are we trying to be little baby business owners?
Big business owners.
Okay, so big business owners, reverse engineer. Does a big business owner have anything to do with any of their rentals?
No, just collect money, right?
I don't even do that. I don't collect any rent. I don't know one of my tenants' names. Zero, zilch, is nada, nothing, absolutely nothing. So in order for me to do an elephant challenge with you guys and still have thousands of properties, it doesn't make sense for me to be involved. I don't collect money. Now, what you're saying is you're like, yeah, you just collect a paycheck. Yeah. Royce says, how much is the overhead? Royce, telling you that question, Royce, will not help you in your journey whatsoever. It'll actually demoralize you if you knew how much money I pay in overhead. But that's a good question, Martin. Good question. Should we stay away from locations prone to high natural disasters? Yes. So coastal towns, you try and stay away from. all of my coastal areas are getting insurance bumps that are actually really, really scary. Okay. Pace, you mean we need to manage the first 3 to 5 properties ourselves? No, Anthony, I would suggest you don't. Here's the mindset problem. The mindset problem is what people think. Oh, Anthony, would you change your Anthony? Okay, there we are. Anthony, how you doing, man?
Hey, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you great. Yeah, thank you so much. So you're saying, should we? No, here's the problem. You're on a free webinar, right? I'm not selling anything. There's nothing I'm trying to make money on. I'm just giving you guys value. So the challenge with this is that I'm speaking in generics, which means I'm making advice for 1,600 people simultaneously rather than picking you out individually based on your current mindset. I can tell you the problem is with most people is their problem is their mindset. And so I can give you advice all day long, but then you're afraid to take action on that advice because it's not in tune with you. Okay. So there are going to be some people in here that are the skittish folk, I'm a miser, I'm going to save every penny type of people, right? If I tell them to go hire a property management company right out of the gate, they're not going to do it anyway. Okay. You see how hard this is? You got to have like individual time with people to actually have these conversations, right? So for me, if I could go back, I would never, this is an interesting mindset thing. Maybe write this down for everybody. I would never have planned on living on my cash flow ever in my life. Maria says, why are we even talking about property management? Well, Maria, we're trying to talk about the laws of evictions and these types of things so that you guys can choose your market. Okay. Do you still use Airbnb? Yes, I do. We've gone a long way away from it. Okay. So Anthony, are you a miser or are you somebody that's like, a miser, somebody's like squeezing a penny out of a penny?
I'm definitely more risk seeking. I'd be okay with a property management company from the get-go.
There you go. So here's the thing, guys. Owning rental properties is for a lot of people that are starting out. It's like, I want to own 10 properties. Caroline Kane, can you do the same illustration for a wholesale operation? Yes, I'll get there tomorrow. I'll be breaking down a whole wholesale operation here in a little bit. Also, Angel Ortiz says, what is a cap rate? Don't ever learn what a cap rate is. It's a waste of your time. I see management companies are less risky, to be honest. Yes. So write this down. I want everybody to write this down. This is something that's very important for you. If you plan on quitting your job based on your cash flow, okay, you'll never quit your job. What most people do is they have this goal of, I'm going to get 10 properties. Okay, wait, no cap rate? Okay, now I'm lost. Let's jump on that for just a second. Zoom user, I really wish I actually knew your name. Change your name, please. If you guys have Zoom user as your name in Zoom, then you got to change it, okay? So, Anthony, you're like me. I want to build wealth. People that go and buy 10 rental properties and they go, I'm going to quit my job now that I have 10 rental properties because now I have $3,000 a month. Guess what? They now have another job. And they're working for that job at $3,000 a month because it's, $300 to $500 a month of cash flow times 10 properties. For me, I always tell people, don't quit your job, keep compounding and stacking until you get to a point where your cash flow is actually what allows you to buy the next 2 properties and the next 2 properties and the next 2 properties, next 2 properties. Don't ever plan on buying a property and living on the cash flow. Buy the property, take the cash flow and use that to buy the next property, the next property, the next property. It's a different paradigm, a different mindset, different everything. And not everybody's going to want to adopt that. Some people in here hate their job so much. So there's somebody in here right now. Think about this. See, there's some people in here that are like, my husband is abusive. I can guarantee you there's somebody in here that's like, my husband's abusive. I hate my job. I need to get 4 or 5 rentals so I can just go and live on my own. Totally get that. Understand, you got to make your own individual goals. Okay. So there, Louisa says, that's me. I've got an abusive husband. I got a bad job I hate. I just want to get 3 or 4 properties so I can quit. Okay. I hate my job. All right. So Sean says, Sean, go ahead, Anthony.
I was going to say, I just joined your Gator lending program as well.
Mhm.
And so I was planning on kind of going balls to the wall on that to try and create income through
Love that.
those strategies.
So guys, here's the thing you have to understand. You guys need to always have a job. You're always going to have a job. Active income. You need to have active income. Active income is, you should have that all the time. And rental properties is not active income. It's passive. Okay. Stop with this. I'm going to quit my job. Just change your job. Go get a different job. Keep your day job or switch your day job. Okay. Invest in real estate on the side, or create active income with Gator or active income with wholesaling or whatever. Wholesaling is another job, just FYI. And I am going to teach you guys a lot of wholesaling stuff tomorrow. But the main thing I want to do today is just make sure everybody has their market pick. That's the main thing we're trying to accomplish today. Okay. Juan Barros says, so Anthony, you're risk tolerant like I am.
Yeah.
Don't ever make it a goal, make it a sense of pride to say, I don't know a single one of my tenants. I've never taken an application. I've never screened somebody. I'm not involved at all.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's, in my opinion, the only way to become worth 10, 20, $30 million is to have that goal from day one.
Yep. Agree.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There you go. So a lot of people are like, I'm going to get my cash flow and I'm going to, quit my job. It's like, don't quit your job. Okay. Make sure you always have an active source of income. Okay. I have a question about picking your market. How specific should it be? Should it be based on your exit strategy? Alex Garcia. I have not talked about my exit strategy. So you're creating questions that don't really matter right now. Alex, what's your strategy?
Hi, Pace.
Hi.
So I am thinking of doing reps, and I already have my market. I live in San Antonio, and I buy properties in San Antonio. But I guess what I'm trying to say about
San Antonio is a great wrap market, by the way. It's great.
Oh, nice. That's good to know. So most of the people that I know here in San Antonio that do wraps, they buy properties on the cheaper end. So should that be considered part of what picking a market is all about? Should that be considered part of a market like San Antonio, cheaper properties, or just in general San Antonio?
Say that question again.
So when I'm choosing my market, for example, San Antonio is my market, but most of the people I know who do wraps do it on properties on the cheaper end because they're easier to wrap.
Yeah.
Should it be part of my market? Should it be San Antonio or cheaper end properties if I'm planning to wrap for that?
Yeah. And so what we'll talk about when we get into strategy on day 2 or maybe day 3, we'll get into talking about strategy in that individual market, because same thing for me in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't go after $700,000 houses in Phoenix, Arizona. I go after the median household price of the ARV or lower. So that doesn't really pertain to the market question, because you're really just going to focus on, a market and then the median household price in that specific market. Every market has a median household price, right?
Right.
Okay. So San Antonio's fine. Okay. So when we get into, you're overthinking is what I'm basically saying, Alex. You're overthinking it.
Thank you. I do that a lot.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys why you all overthink? Here's why you guys all overthink. What I find is that most people have been told what to do their whole life. Okay. They have been told by their parents what to do. They have been told by their siblings what to do. They have been told by their 9-to-5 job, their high school teachers, their college teachers. They have literally been told what to do. You even get to the point where, Justin McGain says, hey, I just quit my job. My funds are low and I don't recommend it. Guys, you'll never hear me tell people. You'll never, ever, ever hear me tell people to quit their job. I'm the opposite. I tell people, keep your active income. Investing is something you do on the side. Land Buyers Nation says overthinking is a big problem. The problem is actually where you got the overthinking from is that somebody's told you what to do your whole life. Literally told you what to do your whole life. Even still to this day, your husband, your wife, your spouse, your roommates, your job, they not only do they tell you what to do, they also tell you what not to do all day long. Okay. So what happens is now when you have to go make a decision on your own and somebody's not telling you what to do, you go, I'm lost. No, you're not lost. You are just used to not making decisions on your own. That's it. And you should change the wording to that. Teresa, how you doing? You said you were lost. Let's change our wording a little bit. Teresa, how you doing? Teresa Clark, you are unmuted. You could talk.
Hello, can you get me?
Hi, I can hear you.
Okay, let me go mute the TV though.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So my mom's watching TV. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. You said I'm lost. So tell me, what does that mean specifically?
Well, I picked Houston, Texas, and then you said not to get too close to the coastal. Is Houston?
I actually said, I did not say that. What I literally said was, are you there, Teresa?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay. What I actually said was don't do coastal cities, right? Is Houston really a coastal city? Houston's actually not on the coast. Houston has Galveston on the coast and all those other cities, right? So if you're like North Houston in the Woodlands, how far away is that from the coast? 100 miles, 200 miles?
I really don't know.
Okay, so you chose Houston. I have properties in Houston. I love Houston. I think it's a great place. Just don't be on the ocean. That's it. Just don't be on the ocean.
Okay, then I'm going to stay with my first choice, because then I went back and looked at the map and I picked Nashville for my next one. And I was thinking, okay, what about tornadoes? And I was like, forget it. I'm just going to stay with the first one. That's why I lowered my hand.
Yeah, you stick with your original thing. Houston's awesome. I love Houston. It's a growing, awesome market, great politics. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
I did.
texting.
No, you're good. Thank you so much for all the information. I did do this and picked Texas about a month ago, and I just been sitting on it because I didn't know the next step. So this is awesome.
Interesting. So you don't know the next step. So we're going to solve that tomorrow. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. So you've got Houston. Great. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to give you the next step, and we're also going to put you in touch with people that can actually help you there. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. No problem. Who has not chosen their market at this point? Who has not chosen your market? Okay. Now here's what I want. I want to hear why you haven't chosen your market. That when you say me, I want you to tell me why you haven't chosen your market. I've given you the information. And if you are still having a hard time choosing it, it means you're overthinking. So I want to know, let's go to somebody. Brianna, how you doing?
Whoa, hey Pace.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi. Okay, so I'm actually a Subto student.
Okay.
And I have my market in a sense. So this has
I don't like when you say that.
Okay. Because you think I'm off subject because you asked who hasn't, correct?
No, if you say I have chosen my market in a sense, I don't like that.
Okay, so this Zoom has had me kind of asking some questions, and I want to hear your advice. And I think this is something that a lot of people are struggling with, in just kind of giving more more encouragement to those who are kind of stuck in a market that they know is bad for them. Caroline Kane, she said in the chat earlier, it's like you're being coached and you're like having a hard time. So me, I'm Washington. It's my home. I have sentimental ties to it. And I know you're being very general. So it doesn't mean I can't do this market. But I think it'd be really helpful to kind of give a little more encouragement of like how to detach yourself from a market that might not be good for you in the long run, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm going to use a really bad analogy, but what you're saying is you already know you have a mindset issue, and you're asking me to fix your mindset, even though you already know you have a mindset issue. Right? It's
like trying to take the sentimental and the emotions out of your decision making.
Okay, cool. It's, in my opinion, it's like Sherlock syndrome. Do you know what Sherlock syndrome is?
No.
Sherlock syndrome is a phenomenon when somebody is kidnapped or they're abused by the person who kidnapped them, or maybe if it's even a husband that is abusive to a wife. The justification for not leaving the person that has abducted you or abused you is because you've actually fallen in love with, Stockholm. I'm sorry, it's called Stockholm syndrome.
Ah, okay.
Okay, Stockholm syndrome. Sorry. I do have COVID. I am sick, and I still showed up today. So forgive me for saying things.
You're doing awesome. No, you're doing great.
Okay, so you basically are telling me straight up, I know this is not a great market for me to have as a rental market, but I love my state. What does that have to do with your state? Like, why do you have to invest where you love? Like, why can't you just live where you love and enjoy your life where you love and eat great food where you love and all of those things? Why do you have to invest there? Like, actually, in my opinion, why is that? It's actually a downfall. Go back to what Tanisha said. What did Tanisha say? She says, the properties that are easiest for me to manage are the ones that are outside of the state.
It'll give her more work.
Right. So why am I saying Seattle sucks?
No.
No, I love it there. The food is some of the best food I've ever had. The people are amazing. A lot of great history in Seattle. It's beautiful weather. It's unbelievable. I love visiting Seattle, but do I need to invest there?
No, you do not.
So what does your love for your city have anything to do with where you buy rentals?
I think, and a lot of people put in the chat, obviously fear, but like control for me, I don't tend to be an overthinker, I thought, but control is something that I'm looking into, right? And trying to realize that control is not necessarily what I've been raised to think it is, right? I think if it's here, then I have more control.
Because you're really good at like electrical work, you're really good at plumbing, you're really good at painting and all that stuff.
No, I'm not none of those things, Faith.
So if you have a problem on the property here in Washington, you're gonna have to call somebody, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what does it matter if you're at the property or you're not at the property? You still have to call somebody to fix it, right?
Absolutely. And I think this is why I was drawn to the mentorship. These are like really just real but hard things to accept, and you kind of just give it straight, because you're right. Like, I'm not going to go in there and I'm not going to fix it myself. And Tanisha does it too. Like Tanisha Spencer, she totally manages from afar. So I think this was very helpful. Just like,
yeah. And the other thing too is like you have friends in other parts of the country, right? Inside of Subto.
Absolutely.
Like, Brianna, you don't strike me as somebody who wants to go in wholesale.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how we can tell that in a conversation?
Absolutely. I want to buy and hold, which, Washington isn't really one you recommend for that. Yeah.
But Washington's beautiful, right?
It is. It's mostly my family. You said it in your Get Started Zoom once. You said the only thing that keeps people in bad places is kind of like two things, and one of them was their family. That's literally what keeps me here.
Okay, cool. Are they going to help you fix up the properties?
Probably not very helpful.
So why do we have to have our family in the decision we make to buy property?
Absolutely. My husband is in the background, like, like, babe, I thought you were sleeping.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. In fact, it's probably better that your family has nothing to do with understanding where you have rentals and all of those types of things. What I find with my family on my properties in Arizona is I'm constantly giving people favors and helping people out. Hey, Pace, you have any empty properties, those types of things. Your family should not be involved in any of your business decisions. You already know that. Your state hates landlords. You already know that. You listen to the news. You hear about all these rent controls and all the things there. You already know this. Like, I don't need to tell you this. You already know it. My question is, you're like, well, can you disconnect that feeling from me? My thing is that connection should have never been made in the first place in your mind, right? Like you and your husband can live wherever you want, eat wherever you want, all of those types of things. Your state is amazing for that. But why can't you have a business, especially in 2024, where technology is so powerful and amazing? Why couldn't you have a business anywhere?
Wow, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so where would you go?
You know, I actually am learning with a team who's hitting Texas right now. And I connected with them through your Subto community when I joined.
Whose community?
Yours.
I don't call Subto my community. Who community is it?
Our community, our
There you go.
Subto community.
There you
Yes.
go. Or you could also call it Tanisha's community. One of those two. Okay, so Texas is a great market. I love it. One thing I don't love about Texas, just FYI, is I don't love the high property taxes. It's like probably third or something in the nation. So I don't love Texas for that specific reason. I'm actually slowing down on my Texas purchases because here's what's happening with my Texas properties. As my rent goes up, my taxes are also going up. And so it's like a wash. Like, okay, let's go raise our rents $200 a door. And then all of a sudden my taxes go up. I'm like, what the heck, man? I didn't get my bump. I didn't get that thing. So Texas, the only downfall to Texas, I love the laws. I love the growth. I love the ability to do business as an American. What I don't love is my taxes are going up and my insurance is going up also on my coastal city. So I would say stay away from Corpus Christi, stay away from like Galveston, stay away from anything that's directly on the water. Okay. So other than that, Texas is really, really great. It will continue to grow. Texas isn't gonna slow down. It could be a country all on its own with the natural resources. In my opinion, the best market in the nation to buy and hold properties is North Carolina and South Carolina. Now there's like 20 other states that are a close second to those, but North Carolina and South Carolina are growing abundantly. They have some of the best colleges. Like look at North Carolina. They have great education. They have great everything. The migration was people leaving California, people leaving New York and New Jersey, people leaving Seattle were going to North Carolina. It is beautiful. The people are super nice, a lot of growth, a lot of job opportunities. It's not too cold. That's another thing that I stay away from too, is I stay away from cold markets. I don't want, like you guys freeze over in Seattle. And I've had to turn my 4-wheel drive on in Seattle to get through your city. Christmas 2 years ago, I was like in 4-wheel drive in Seattle. I was like, oh my gosh. So I don't want to be in markets that are cold either. Why would I not want to be in a market that's cold?
Well, I mean, just one example, if you're looking to do like short term or anything, people aren't really traveling there during that time or.
So good. Great answer. What else?
People tend to move away eventually or.
Typically winters are really hard on the properties, right? So you're gonna have a lot more repairs. The other thing is roads get shut down. There's all sorts of slip and fall lawsuits in those types of states. Another really big thing is that you can't get contractors to work in the cold. So if you want to paint a property or you want to do landscaping or there's, new windows or new siding or whatever else, everything slows down in winter areas.
Yeah, that's actually really great because I'm in weddings right now and I only get to do weddings half the year, if that.
So think about that. If I was going to be a wedding venue specialist, would I choose to go to Montana where it's freezing half the year?
Nope.
Cool. So it's the same thing with your wedding venue business. If you were going to open a second location with me, would you create the second location in Whiting?
Whiting?
I don't know. Whatever city you just said. I don't know the name of the city. You said you have a wedding venue location somewhere.
Oh, no. Sorry. I have a wedding business. I'm a planner.
Okay. Sorry. But you said what city did you say it's in?
Yeah. Seattle area.
Okay. So great. So half your business is shut down half the year.
Half the year. Yep.
Okay. So could you not kind of identify that also with real estate? Like your real estate slows down half the year. People aren't Airbnb-ing like you said. Really great point. Also repairs, issues, challenges, people getting in wrecks, all sorts of problems happen during winter states. So if I'm building a portfolio long-term, there's a reason why there's this thing called the Sunbelt Smile. Do you know what the Sunbelt Smile is?
I have an idea that it's like on the Sunbelt states that.
There you got it.
I've never heard the term, but.
Okay. We call it the Sunbelt Smile. Okay. In the Sunbelt Smile, this is where the weather is perfect all year. Not perfect, but you basically don't have seasonal issues. Oh my gosh. It's called the Sunbelt Smile because of, obviously it looks like a smile. Where is it? Oh, here it is right here. So you're nowhere near there, right?
Nope.
So these are the areas that you're going to have no issues with people traveling year round, your wedding venues, all sorts of stuff. So we just had a sub-2 student come to me and go, hey, I want to create a wedding venue and we're thinking about doing it in Colorado. And I'm like, you what? Why would you do it in Utah? They go, oh, well, what about Utah? I go, why would you do that? If you're going to do anything wedding venue wise, number one, Google. I'm getting a lot of feedback off of you, Brianna. Sorry. So, Brianna, I'm turning you off because I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm so sorry. So the guys, there's a reason this stuff exists, right? It's for you to make better decisions. And you want to own properties or businesses in areas that it freezes half the year. Just like Brianna said, she says that I can't do wedding planning half the year. Okay. This is going to sound really rude, but that sounds like an intelligent business move. Or does it not? It doesn't, right? So some of you guys are justifying buying in places, okay, and building businesses in places that half the year you can't even run your business. Doesn't make any sense. And then you're also simultaneously asking yourself, why can't I scale? Why can't I build? It's like, because you're emotionally tied to an area that only allows you to do business half the year. Okay, well, if your goals are smaller than mine, then that's okay. Keep your goals small and you can be happy with it. Just know yourself. Write that down and say, I got to know myself. I got to know what I want, etc. Okay. Well, last thing before we move on, anybody in here feel like you have not chose your market yet? Okay, just Sturgis. That seems like a fake name. Okay, guys, can I be a little bit rude with you? If you have still not chosen a market at this point, after a couple of hours of talking about this conversation, you have an indecision problem. Okay? You have an indecision problem. Escuela, how you doing? You have an overthinking, people have told me what to do my whole life problem.
Hey, my name is Hernan. Sorry, I can't change my name here.
Hey guys, can we normalize having our real names as our Zoom names?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your name again? I'm so sorry.
Hernan, Hernan.
Okay, Hernan, why have you not chosen your market?
I live abroad and I am seriously considering investing in the US. And I've been in many states traveling, but and I have friends in Colorado, I have friends in Florida, I have friends in California, Wyoming, but since what you have done, what you have said, I only have left 2 or 3 states. But I'm looking at all the deals and confusing. There's deals everywhere in Alabama, Carolina.
Okay, cool. So here's what he's saying. He's basically saying, I have too many options and I just need somebody to tell me what to do. That's what he's saying. Okay. Pay attention to this for just a second. So many people will live their life this way. Watch this. This is so interesting. I was one of these guys. Okay. I was one of these guys. I start out on day one and I've got a path. This is how I started my life. This line represents 7 years. And this is true. From the day I said, one day I will get started. Okay, that's 7 years from the day I started to the day, and I would continually say, one day I will get started. One day I will get started. One day I will get started. Now, it didn't start out that way, for heaven's sakes. Okay, it didn't start out that way. I thought it was 30 days. I thought it was 60 days I would get started. Okay, but here's the questions I was asking, the quality of questions. Okay, I would say, one day I'll get started. One day I'll get started. Okay. And then the next statement I would say is, I want to get started. And I would never make an actual decision. So at the end of 7 years of doing this, I was 23. Okay, there you go. Rashana, okay, Glinton. Rashana Glinton says that happened to me for 20 years. And essentially what I was doing is I was getting ready to get ready. I was getting ready to get ready. That's what I was doing for 7 years. And I would ask myself the question, okay, I want to get started. One day I will get started. Now, at the end of 7 years, how many deals did I have by asking that question? 0. Okay. Interesting. So 7 years, I had 0 deals. Here's the worst question. After 7 years, how many skills did I acquire? How many relationships did I acquire? How many better questions did I upgrade to? The answer also is 0. I literally, for 7 years, I was getting ready to get ready. And after 7 years of getting ready to get ready and overthinking, okay, and waiting for somebody else to tell me stuff and saying the worst words you could ever say, I'm stuck. No, you're not. You're not stuck. You're just not used to making decisions yourself. You've always had a mommy or a daddy. Walt says, how did you overcome? Does anybody ever ask yourself, how the hell did I even live this long by like how stuck I've been in my life? Are you kidding me? Hey, Zoom user, will you do me a favor and not say Zoom user in your name? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. Please change your name. Okay. Troy Bailey says, that's my problem right there. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. No, you're not. You're just used to somebody else telling you what to do all the time. You're not stuck. Please tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Guys, this is not a job. Okay, this is entrepreneurship. You have to just do the things. Now here's how I overcome it. Okay? Ask yourself this question. We already know what happened to this person, right? Do we already know what happened to this person that was getting ready to get ready? Give me a yes. Do we already know what happened to that person? Christina says, just let me talk it out. Christina, I'll get to you in just a second. Okay, we already know what happened to this person, right? Okay, cool. So after 7 years, they've acquired 0 skills, 0 anything. You know what they've actually done is they've acquired frustration, anxiety, and more important, they acquired proof. Okay, evidence. What have they acquired proof and evidence of is that they are not good at making decisions. And so they just continue. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You've acquired proof and evidence that you're not good at making decisions. And so you keep telling yourself these stories. Okay. Now, what if, pay attention to this. What if for 7 years, I asked a different question? Okay. The question was, I want to acquire skills. Okay. So one day I can achieve. What if that was the only intention I had was I wanted to acquire skills, like how to comp a property, how to choose a market. Literally, if the only thing I did was I want to acquire skills, how to comp, how to look up properties, how to fill out paperwork. What if literally that was it, but I still, at the end of 7 years, had never done a deal? Which one would you rather be? This is your problem. You will literally overthink everything because you think the goal is to acquire capital. The goal is to acquire skills. That's the goal. Your goals are screwed up. Okay. Your goals are screwed up. All we're trying to do is acquire skills. Okay. Matt says, I want all the skills. That's it. What if you never do a real estate transaction? What if you never do a real estate transaction in your life, but for 7 years, you actually acquired skills? Ironically, it would be impossible for you not to get a deal. So for 7 years, I asked the question of, I want to get started in real estate. And that was my question. I want to get started in real estate. One day I will get started in real estate. Instead of I should have been saying, I want to acquire skills and I want to acquire evidence that I'm good at making decisions. Okay. What if all the skills you're acquiring don't actually require you to lose any money or have a tenant? What if your only skill is to learn how to submit offers? What if that's the only goal? That's the only goal, is I'm just going to learn how to submit an offer. And that was the only thing you focused on. First off, you wouldn't be so anxious. You wouldn't be upset. You wouldn't be down on yourself. You wouldn't be beating yourself up and saying, this is taking me too long. None of that. Okay. That's why the Elephant Challenge exists, is because it's there to help you guys get to a point where you're just acquiring one skill. So that being said, should we be asking questions about, well, I have 4 ideas of what market I should try, and I need more help on which market to try? Or should we just choose a market and go and acquire those skills in that market for 6 months? Does it really matter? Is there something called a perfect market? Yeah, there is something called a perfect market. It's called the one that you will actually start in. That's it. Okay. Can't remember who was saying, let me walk through it. Was it Christine? Who was that said, well, I just need someone to walk through it with me? Oh, Christina Colon. Okay. Without an H. All right. Christina, how can I help you?
Hello. Hi, Pace. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so my dilemma is I live in Central New York, Hudson Valley, and I've done deals in my market a long time ago. Right now it's a seller's market. And I moved remotely, and I done deals in Indianapolis last year. I done deals, seller financing and whatever. And then I did one deal in Raleigh, North Carolina. But the problem is those 2 markets now are hot, like, they're sellers market right now. So I was thinking to move to Greenwood, South Carolina, as a new market, since it's a market that it's not that expensive and it's not yet a seller's market. So that's my dilemma. I don't know, should I continue in Indianapolis, even though I can't find the deals that I found last year, or just start a new market?
You stay in the market that you have relationships in. That's what you do. There's not a single market in the country that's going to be any different than what you're dealing with right now. And what do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. Christina, do you want to change markets every single 6 months or 9 months or 18 months? No. And wouldn't you say that being in a market that is changing every 6 months, that you would rather acquire the skill of changing up how you look for deals in those markets? Your problem is prices are high everywhere. Interest rates are high everywhere. Every market is hot right now, right? There is a lack of housing and a lack of apartments everywhere. Why is Greenville any different?
Rents hasn't increased that much yet. So that it's like it's Indianapolis like a year ago when I bought there.
Okay, so are you buying and holding, or are you wholesaling primarily?
I am buying and holding right now, but since I don't have, I ran out of money. That's the truth.
So
now I'm
Christina,
wholesaling.
now we got a different problem. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your problem is you suck at raising money.
Yeah, I do. That's true.
Okay. So isn't it interesting that that wasn't even your question? This is like, guys, I'm telling you, this is the biggest problem that I have, is that people, you guys all lie to yourselves. You think you have a completely different problem that you don't even have. Your problem is you suck at raising capital. And so you're like, oh, I'm just going to go to a different market so I don't have to learn the skill of raising capital. How about you just stay in the market you already know with the resources you already know and just learn the skill of raising capital? Think about it. If I'm going to have to go into Greenville and spend 6 months building momentum, wouldn't it make sense for me just to spend 6 months learning a new skill of raising capital in the market that I already do deals in?
Yeah, it makes sense.
How do you want to spend your 6 months? Running away from a problem or running into a new skill? What would you rather do? Me personally, I'd go, oh, I suck at raising capital. That's my problem. Okay. I'm going to go and I'm going to learn how to raise capital in my existing market. And then I can continue to buy more deals.
Now
the market is not your
having-
problem. The market is
I
not
know.
your problem. You are the problem.
Okay. Now I'm having an issue with a partner that I got last year.
Okay.
I
Fire
guess,
them.
I
Get
guess,
rid of them.
yeah. Okay. Got it.
This isn't friendship. This is business, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not
You're
doing
right.
their job, or are you not doing your job? Which one is it?
They are not doing their job.
Okay. Then why do you need to be in a partnership with them? Why don't you just say, hey, we're going to own these properties together, but I'm going to go and do my own thing now. I love you. I appreciate you. This has been great. These properties we can own together. I'm going to go into do other partnerships. What keeps you from doing that? How you feel about bringing it up? You can't bring that conversation up. Is that the problem?
No, I guess it's my mindset, because I didn't have a good experience with this partner, and she was my best friend. And that's why.
Okay, so guys, do you see what the number one problem you guys have is? Is you guys know, and you hear this stuff. Christina, in your life, have you heard somebody say, don't partner with your friends? You have, 100% you have.
Yeah.
And you still did it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like when somebody says, I'm still going to choose New York or Los Angeles, even after I say that those are horrible places to start. They're going to come into Elephant Challenge in 2025 and say, I know you told me to, but I did it anyway. And now I'm stuck. Christina, the way you feel about something is what is guiding your whole entire business. Your feelings are guiding your entire business. How you felt originally with this partner is that they were your friend. So you felt like you could trust them. You don't have an operating agreement. You don't have a partnership agreement, and you don't have an agreement that shows how to break up. Am I making a safe assumption in saying that?
You're right. That I don't
Okay, so
have
you've
that.
made
Yes.
you've made all your decisions based on how you feel about something rather than actually just doing the right thing. Okay, got it. Now you want to go to a different market, because if you go to a different market, then you're running away from the problem that you currently have in the existing market with the existing partner that you don't like. And you don't want to go to the partner you have now and say, I'm going to do deals on my own over here, or choose a different partner because of the way you feel about having that conversation.
Yes.
And then now think about this. Now you're coming and asking me for advice on what market to choose based on rent rates, and it has nothing to do with rent rates. Everything you're dealing with right now is how you feel.
No, yes. Now that I talk it out, you're right, because I wanted to move to another market, a cheaper market. Because
No,
I didn't
you want to run away from your business partner that you're having a problem with. That's what you want to do.
I didn't want to deal with partners. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted
So,
to, yeah.
this is interesting. I was in Penn State the last couple of days, and I had this thing where I was stuck having a conversation with two people for 8 hours. And it took about 13 minutes for me to realize what was really going on. I said, you're lying to me and you're lying to yourself. You're asking me all these questions, but that is not the actual question you're asking. The question you're asking is something unrelated. And they're like, no, you're wrong. You just think you've been teaching so long that you know stuff. I'm like, okay, well, all right. Anyway, 2 days of having this conversation with this person. Okay. 2 days with this person. They finally came back to me. They go, you were right the whole time. I was lying to you. I was lying to myself. I was asking questions that didn't even have anything to do with what I was actually worried about. And I wasn't admitting what was really going on. So here's the thing. You want progress in your life, right?
Yes, I do.
Everybody wants progress. That's it. We just want to do more, be more, have more. That's all we want. We don't have to be billionaires. And most of you guys don't. If somebody says to you, I'm going to be worth $1 billion, most of you guys can't even equate that number. Even $10 million, even $1 million. If I said, I'm going to put $1 million in your bank account, most people don't even have the mental fortitude to understand what $1 million even looks like. Okay. But what they do is you spend all your time and energy running away from pain. You run away from pain. The reason why you guys are not successful in doing deals is because you run away from the phone. You run away from discomfort. You run away from having hard conversations with people and saying, are you a good fit for me as a partner? Because I know I'm going to work. Okay. Think about this. Okay. If we were going to create a really amazing human being that could overcome anything, withstand anything, persevere anything, would we tell them that they should avoid conflict and they should avoid problems? Or would we tell them that they need to go into conflict and go into those problems because that's what actually turns them into an amazing human being? What I find is most people will work very hard to not work at all. So what will happen? Pay attention. Christina, you are willing to work really hard to go open up another market?
Yes.
Instead of just having a conversation with your partner.
Yes. Well, actually, she's not prohibiting me to do more deals. I've done more deals in that market. Indianapolis is just, I didn't want to deal with the same problem that I'm dealing right now with her, with another partner, run into the same issues. So my mind was saying, go to another market where you can put the money all by yourself because it's cheaper. Yeah.
Okay, but okay, got it. So that you got a completely different series of problems, right? So, and I can tell you guys that, Christina, I've answered your question. Hopefully that helped out. So I can tell you guys, most of the problem that people have in getting into business is you're avoiding pain, you're avoiding discomfort, you're avoiding growth. Has anybody ever accomplished anything noteworthy by avoiding problems and by avoiding pain? Have you guys ever accomplished anything in your life without those things? So why is it that as adults, we literally go out of our way to avoid the pain? Don't we know exactly that the equation is going through the stuff and becoming a better person? Okay. There you go. Success doesn't come without the trouble. Yeah. And I hear people say all the time, oh, it's okay if you make a mistake. It's not okay if you make a mistake. It is a requirement to make mistakes. That is a different way of saying it. It is a requirement. Again, if the only thing you did different in your life was to say, I want to acquire skills so one day I can achieve, you would be way further ahead than you are right now. Okay, so here's the thing that we're going to be doing. Okay, and I'm going to wrap this up. Make a decision on your market. Would you rather be the person that's asking the question today of, oh my gosh, I don't know what market to choose. Oh my gosh. Or would you rather be the person that chose a market and just went and acquired skills in those markets? Which one would you want? Okay, so choose a market. Who in here is still deliberating over which market they're going to choose? Okay, Stacy. Stacy, this is interesting to me that even after that conversation, you are still having a question in your mind of which market to choose. Like there's a perfect one for you to choose.
I think can you hear me?
Yes.
I think that's possible that I guess I'm trying to weigh the 6 different things. And so I live in Boulder, Colorado, and it's got there's only 300,000 people in the entire county. It's dark, it's light green, it's 13% increase in population. If I move a little bit outside of that to Broomfield County or Weld County, all of a sudden it's 32% increase in population, but the entire county, just has over 300,000 people. Now we've also got the issue that it's cold here.
Mhm.
So I start to wonder, I have connections in Northern California where I'm from, like Chico, Sacramento. Okay, I see you shaking your head. So forget that.
Don't
So
even
I
bring it.
guess-
Don't, guys, let's make a rule. Don't ever tell me you're going to choose the California or New York market. I don't want to hear it.
Okay. Well, I would prefer, and this I know is a comfort thing. I know the Boulder, Colorado market very well because I've rented here for 10 years.
Okay.
I know this city.
All right. So let's ask ourselves this question, Stacy.
Thank you.
Is the Boulder, Colorado market a market where I'm going to find a lot of people in foreclosure, a lot of people going through painful situations, or is that typically a market that's for the ultra rich?
Ultra rich.
Okay. Do we buy properties from ultra rich people typically when we're looking for distressed sellers?
No.
Okay. So we can immediately get rid of that.
Okay.
Boulder is not the market. Okay. Colorado Springs is great. The greater Denver area is great. There are deals everywhere there. There's amazing growth. You could even wholesale land like crazy in Denver metro area because there's so many people that are developing and looking for land. There's tremendous amount of opportunity there. Fort Collins, I've done a couple deals in Fort Collins. Great. Made 90 grand on one last year. Love Fort Collins. These are all areas that are within driving distance of you. If you're like, hey, I have resources, I have things here. Those are great markets. Now, guess what? I also have Angie Milanazzo, who's one of my leaders in the Elephant Challenge, and her team and her husband, Dom, are all there. They're in Denver, right? So if you want resources, don't use your family as resources because your family is not going to really help you in your business. In fact, they're probably just going to criticize you in your business.
Possibly. Yep.
That's the overwhelming. Guess who doesn't want you to make money in your life? Your family, right? They don't.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't want you to make money. They are just going to be jealous of you. And even when they feign that they're proud and they're excited for you, they're really not. I don't care who you are and how much your family loves you. They internally, they're human beings. Go read the book, The Laws of Human Nature, and read the chapter on jealousy. Worst person to do business with is a family member. Second worst is a friend. Don't ever do business with those two people. So don't consider family members and friends as resources. Find people that are in the Elephant Challenge, like Dom and Angie Milanazzo in Colorado that are close to you, and join their team. Work with them. They're going to show you all sorts of things. It's going to be great. I'll show you this tomorrow. Use them as a resource.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I feel good about doing Denver. I think that the size, the turnover, all of that, but that's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Family members suck, just so you know. All your guys' family members suck. And all your stupid friends suck too. And guess what? I'm talking to myself. My friends suck. My family sucks. They don't want me to make money. They just don't. They want me to make money so they can ask for a loan. That's basically it. Don't get your family members and friends involved in any of these conversations. Okay. Rose, what do you got? Guys, and also, are you the kind of person that needs somebody to walk you through a market choice? Rose, what do you got?
Okay, so I don't need someone to walk me through the market choice. The thing is, I'm not in the States. I am in Canada. I know you keep saying that the New York market sucks, but let me explain to you. I have my mother-in-law.
You just said, I know the New York market sucks, but?
Okay, I have an explanation for you. So my father-in-law.
Okay,
my
Rose,
mother-in-law and my father.
Rose,
Yes.
you're already breaking every rule I just told you.
I know.
I don't want to talk about New York, and you already are talking about your father-in-law. Immediately, you got 2 red strikes. I don't want to hear about it.
I know. Okay, but the thing
So
is,
if you have this time with me, Rose, let's use some things that don't have anything to do with New York, and let's use some things that don't have anything to do with family. You already, isn't it funny, guys?
I know.
I know. It's like guys, think about this. And you wonder why some people don't succeed. Because even though I will give you advice you will then reply and say, I know, but. Just so you know, in my family, nobody's allowed to say, I know, but. If you know, there is no but. There is no but. If you know, then there is no but. You already know. Do we agree with this? You will put yourself at a disadvantage because of the way you feel. You will put yourself at a disadvantage because you're like, I know that there's rules to this game, but guys, I already told you stuff. So Rose, I'm going to unmute you. If we have a conversation about New York or your family, I'm taking you off the screen. So let's come up with a different question. How can I help you, Rose?
Okay. So one of the markets that I was looking at was Ohio.
Love Ohio.
Okay. But specifically Dayton, Ohio.
Love Dayton, Ohio.
I haven't heard anyone talk about it. It's between Columbus and Cincinnati.
I love it. Dayton, Ohio is great. A great market. We have a tremendous. I was just in Ohio a couple of weeks ago. Actually, like 6-7 days ago. I love it. I love everything about Ohio. It's great.
Okay.
Great politics, good growth. There's a lot of resources there. We have a lot of people in Subto and a lot of people in Gator that are in Ohio. You'll be able to tap into people very easily. I love it. Okay. Choose Dayton.
Okay. I figured because it's between two bigger cities, people are not going to want to be like necessarily in.
You're already overthinking.
Okay. But like the thing with me is that because I'm not from the States.
Guys, anybody that's outside the States, listen to me, you freaking Canucks. Okay.
Okay.
All you Canadians, you think there's some invisible line in your country to our country. How is it any different between I'm in Florida investing in North Carolina or Canada investing in North Carolina? How is it any different?
Because when people
the internet is more expensive, or it takes 3 more seconds for the internet to I don't understand the difference. Tell me the difference. Give me a legit difference, please, Rose.
Okay, I feel like when people hear that you're not from like the States, they're a little bit more closed off. That's how I feel.
Do you guys see how y'all just be filling up in here?
I shouldn't feel like that.
Should you have feelings when it comes to business?
No.
Okay. And also, I'm going to give you a very simple, a little simple solution here. Why are you bringing it up to anybody that you're in Canada? When I make a phone call, when I do an email, when I shoot a text message, do they know I'm from Canada?
Because they hear my accent and they hear, and they're
you
like,
do not have a Canadian accent. You have a Hispanic accent.
I don't speak Spanish. I speak
Well, you
French.
definitely don't sound like a Canadian. I can tell you that right now. Does she sound like she has a Canadian accent? Yes or no? Look in the side chat.
Someone said Quebec, and I am from Quebec.
You do not sound like you're from Quebec at all.
Okay. So thank you so much for taking time. I'm gonna
tell you, Rose. Here's another thing. I had a lady in Subto a couple of years ago, and she came in. I remember she was on this Zoom with me, and she was on the beach, and she was crying. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do a deal because I'm Hispanic, and nobody will listen to me because I'm Hispanic." And da 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 da. Now, I'm really nice to my Subto community members. I'm not barking at them like I bark on the Elephant Challenge. But the biggest thing that I deal with the Elephant Challenge is mindset. Like people in the Elephant Challenge from the free group, they just have a different mindset. Okay. So I go, okay, well, how about this? How about you just do what I tell you to do? And if it doesn't work, I'll give you $10,000. And she's like, really? I go, yep. You have a guaranteed win. I can guarantee you I'll give you $10,000 even if it doesn't work. But walk into every conversation, full accent. And then I see her 3 months later and I was like, hey, how's it going? She's like, I've made $150,000. People love my accent. It's the best. Da, 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 da. Your accent is not holding you back.
I know. I wasn't saying people don't love my accent because when I do speak, people love it and they think it's very exotic. I'm from Africa, Congolese.
Okay. So do you guys see what I deal with in the free group? She literally goes from saying, well, people don't like my accent. They think I'm from Canada. Now she's literally saying, no, I didn't say people don't like my, am I crazy? Did anybody else notice that? Give me a yes if you guys noticed that. You literally flip-flopped. You said everybody doesn't like my accent. Nobody likes my accent. To now nobody has a problem with my accent. Rose, I love you. When I see you next, give me a hug. Please give me a hug. But the fact that these are the questions that you have is the actual problem that you're having. Okay? It is the actual problem that you're having. Okay? The overthinking is a lot of you guys' issues. James Ramos, how you doing, man?
Sorry, I'm doing well. I love what you're saying. It's just a conversation going in circles with Rose.
Right. So can you kind of see, hopefully you guys can see some of these common questions, and overthinking is literally like when I highlight somebody that's overthinking, James, does it not just make you realize, oh my gosh, I'm overthinking in my own life?
Yeah. It certainly makes me think that way. Yeah.
Anything that you are overthinking about in your life, James?
Right now, yeah, like what's my next move? Where am I going to make my next offer?
Where's your market?
Austin.
Awesome. Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to show you guys how to do lead generation. That's what we're going to focus on tomorrow. Okay. So everybody's got their market. And if you don't have your market, you're overthinking. So just choose a market. And here's how you overcome it. Okay. If you have 3 markets, write down all 3 markets. Okay. Do me a favor. If you have not chosen your market, type in the side chat the top 3 places that you're thinking. Okay. Go on the side chat. Okay. Jennifer Holdsworth. By the way, I'm going to say this again. If you have not chosen your market, then tell me the 3 places you are thinking in the side chat. If you have not chosen your market, tell me the 3 places you're thinking. Okay, cool. Here's what I've noticed. Everybody that's typing in the side chat right now has not put them in alphabetical order. So what made you think to put the top market first? Like Pennsylvania, Florida, North Carolina. Why not just go to PA? Tucson, Phoenix, Louisville. Just choose Tucson. The one at the top of your list is your market. We have now officially chosen your market. The one at the top of your list is your market. Have we all now officially chosen our market? Give me a yes. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay, pay attention. Here's what we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to get everybody on Teams. Okay, we're going to get everybody on Teams. And the thing that we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to get you guys on Teams. We're then going to get you guys the resources. We're going to call title companies and we're going to call buyers tomorrow. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. And I want everybody to do the same. That's it. That's all we're doing. Melissa Bello says, I have a quick question regarding market. Melissa, I can guarantee you it's already been covered, or if you still have a question at this point, you are literally just overthinking. That's it. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to just do a couple of things. We're going to get everybody a title company. We're going to get everybody a buyer by the end of tomorrow. Does that sound like a good thing for us to all accomplish tomorrow? Yes. Same time, 3 hours. I went a little bit long today, but we will go 3 hours tomorrow. Those are the only things we're going to accomplish. Who's your title company? And what we're going to do is going to be really slow. And why is it going to be slow? Because everybody's going to be doing their homework live. Okay. We're not going to be giving you homework at the end. We're going to give you homework live. Okay. Guys, it's 2:00 Arizona time. The only time that you will ever see me quote is Arizona time because we do not change our time zones. Okay. So tomorrow, 2:00 to 5 p.m. Arizona time. If you're like, well, what time is it in Arizona? That's what Google's for. Okay. All right. So tomorrow, title company and a cash buyer. You're going to walk away tomorrow with a title company and a cash buyer by the end of the day. Does that sound good? Okay. Awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m.